PlayStation. PlayStation.
No two competitors are the same. Some run on routine for the chance to win big. Some make time to rise through the brackets. Some lock in with confidence. However you prepare, there's a place for every kind of competitor. PlayStation Tournaments. Sign up today on PS5.
PlayStation.
Hello, Fortnite fans, and welcome to the Fortnite Days of Play PlayStation Cup Finals. I'm Kelly Link, joined by Shio Wager, and we've already had round one of the competition. Thousands of you competed, but now we only have the top 100 solos, Shio. They're going to be competing over 6 games for a pretty nice prize pool.
Yeah, I mean, competition dwindles down. You get the best of the best. Kelly, excited to be here again another month, another PlayStation Cup. It's looking good.
It's looking good right now, especially if you are in the finals, because every single player that is going to be competing today is going to be walking away with a little bit of money. But of course, to even get to the money, we got to talk about the format. How did these players get here and what they can expect today? It is going to be a battle royale competition for today, and you already heard me say it's going to be 6 games. However, we do also have a zero builds competition going on. We also have multiple regions. I mean, Shio, there is $100,000 spanning across all of the regions, and it actually is a $200,000 prize pool between Battle Royale and Zero Build.
Yeah, lots of money to be able to give away to every single player. Talking about the players now that got here as well, there was a previous session that happened. We have our lobby kind of set and ready to go for this one happening tonight here on June 10th. It's looking nice, but we are focusing on that NA Central prize pool and that NA Central region as of now, just inside the build mode. And yeah, so far, going into this final event, things are looking really nice for these last 6 games.
Yeah, but before we can even really think about the money, they're going to have to be earning some points. And I know that there's been a little contention recently because there's been some changes in like the normal FNCS competition that they've been having less points for eliminations. Well, you all do not have to worry because it is going to be 3 points per elimination for this tournament right now. And I know that's what we all know and love. It is going to take you going up into 50th place to even start earning some placement points though, Shio.
Yeah, you got to be chopping the lobby in half pretty much to just give out some of those placement points all the way up top towards the VR, which is worth 60 points in total. You can see top 10 kind of has a bigger boost as well when you start moving up the ranks a little bit, especially from that 3rd to 1st place. The win still matters. The elims though being 3 apiece means, if you're dropping lots of eliminations inside the end game, you're still going to get tons of value. But when it comes to, getting these points, the question, Kelly, is what are these points going to lead to? What happens when you win some prizes?
Ooh, well, you said it right there. Prizes, money. Everyone here, I've already said it. I'm going to say it again, and I'm probably going to say it many more times throughout the show. Everyone is going to be walking away with some money. $50 there from 76th to 100th place, which is not a bad amount of pocket change for just playing a little bit of Fortnite and not even performing that well. But of course, for the top contenders, our top 10 Shio, look at that prize pool.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. First place, $3,500 in total. I don't know what you'd be doing with that money, but I'd be confused if I had that much from one event. I think my total earnings as of historically are $351 all the way back in season 1 or chapter 1, season 10-ish. Anyways, we go down all the way to that top 10 having the 250 overall. You get like a $50 bump as you move though, and we've seen in these previous PlayStation Cups all the way till that 5th game, things are still volatile on the leaderboard. That last game matters. If you mess up a little bit, there's so much money to still play for. It doesn't have to be the 3,500 grand prize, but moving up those tiers really does make a big difference.
Let me just say, we've had some big names compete in the PlayStation Cups before, but looking at round one, some of the names we got, Shia, we got some people from like the Summit land competing right now. We got Curve, we got Scare, we got some of the EU players coming over here to try and throw a wrench in NA as they like to do, of course. I mean, we got OSID, we got Rexy. There is a lot of big names that are going to be competing here today. So I know a lot of people trying to prove themselves, not just only in the new season, but also what's better than winning one tournament on PC? Well, winning another tournament on console for PlayStation.
Yeah, the sun's also here in my face. It wants to also collaborate and see what's up. But it's huge. I think I've gotten messages about it as well, and we've seen lots of reactions from some of the previous PlayStation Cups in the year. Everybody's really enjoying the hyper competitiveness that's happening inside these matches. Straight from match 1 all the way till match 6, stacked end games. Kelly, I feel like I'm back in the DreamHack days when people were really taking the competition seriously, and even, you know, casting games that are better than NA West Chapter 2 quality, games that are like basically FNCS stack level. I'm shouting out, you know, some in regions that used to exist in the past. But these are serious games. These are people trying
didn't
really
you hear?
hard.
NA West exists again ever since Lacey and Ron came back. NA West is now a region again, apparently.
You know, when the clout's there, the money follows, and that's why since we're here, the PlayStation Cup is giving away all that money, right? That's how it makes sense.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's true, and that's why all the big names are here as well. I forgot to say, Josh, teammate of Yamza, is going to be competing right now. Skyjump. I already said some of the EU players. Karama is going to be here. Day, of course, I always love to bring his name up. One of the OGs of Fortnite, still competing as well. And it looks like for competing and waiting, we're not going to have to wait too much longer, everyone, because game number 1 of Days of Play PlayStation Cup is starting.
That's what it is. As these guys fly in towards their spawns, I want to let you know a little bit about Days of Play. It's live across 10 titles in PlayStation tournaments, and just playing one match gets you into a unique Days of Play avatar. You kind of get that locked in for your PlayStation. At the same time, you're also entered into a sweepstakes automatically. Dark, think automatic about this. I mean, he wish it was. A little bit of missed shots all over the place. Game Killer gonna get away from this? There's just no way. That's the last of his builds.
It's close. Darky's trying. He's pushing. It's going in. Aim Killer now going for the aggression, but does end up going down to Dark. You're going to get that siphon, but it doesn't look like he has to worry about a third party right now. A few more eliminations on that Elim feed as well. Looks like we're already starting to see some of our players fall in game number 1.
Yeah, it's a bit more volatile on this one. A lot of the times landing in, especially since we were casting kind of and hosting this PlayStation Cup towards the end of the season, people knew exactly how to use their landing spots, how the ebb and flow of the game kind of locks down. I feel like since the season just came out a few days ago, maybe just a mere week ago, Kelly, there's a bit more chaos on the map.
Yeah, a lot more chaos, a lot of experimenting. You know, I was asking you, like, how much have you been enjoying the new season and everything? You're like, oh, well, if it's, you know, the same movement, then it's the same Fortnite. But actually, as far as movement changes go, redeploying your glider has changed. You can now drop a lot faster, so that's probably why we're seeing a few changes to early aggression as well. A lot of these players kind of experimenting with that, seeing how quick they can drop and then, you know, go for the loot and the aggression. Probably more opportunities for crazier 50-50s.
Yeah, I came up on the glider redeploy meta, actually. It does change the entire way you rotate, move, especially the end game, too. You get crazy fights all the way for height. Close, though. This has nothing to do with gliders. We're kind of on the low ground, and it's making it look easy to just keep up on this pressure. Reminder, this game just started, so builds aren't going to be too, you know, crazy heavy inside the inventory right now. Trying to jump in, and maybe that's not really how it works. No builds left over for his cohort on the other side. Big shot from Glows, and a nice cleanup, too. Very clean.
I love that he opened the door for him, you know, taking the trash out himself. Glow now having an opportunity to find some new real estate over in Battlewood. Definitely one of the more popular POIs in the new map, although it's kind of a new map. There's definitely some old POIs in there, but as you can see throughout the that end event that we had from Season 2 to Season 3, a lot of changes in this map, but Battlewood's still around.
Yeah, I'll tell you what my favorite change is the more I see the map today. For me, this is the first time looking at a lot of this. I'm kind of enjoying what I'm looking at as well. The shape of the map changing entirely is fun. Love it when you switch up where the seasons are overall, where the frost side is, where the mountains are as well. Sid too, probably happy that these changes are here, I guess. Able to get shield up, able to get some really nice loot over at Latte Landing, which I swear to God wasn't on the top right side of the map all the time.
No, yeah, some things have moved around a little bit. It was this interesting kaleidoscope-looking end event where the map was swirling around. It was really awesome looking, and like you said, it was those kind
kind of season changes just swirling around for a minute. So yeah, some places did change just a little bit, but you know, still somewhat similar. Exotics, though, not too similar to this situation. On top of Harambe, they're looking to just break into the builds, but instead, looking that he's a little low in health and heals, going to actually be disengaging.
Harambe? He's back?
Apparently. The spirit
the world's
of...
healed. The world, this is the best Fortnite season of all time.
Oh, no.
That's crazy. But no, Exotic will go away. You're talking about some of the stuff that's changed. Some of the stuff that stays the same, though. These edge zone fights. Kelly, I got a question for you, because you might have been able to watch some of the div cups or seen what's been going on. Do we still have that first zone doesn't do any damage, so people are just rotating in the purple all the time?
I mean, it's one tick, so it's practically no damage. So yeah, lots of people liking to stick into Storm for a little bit, and I'm sure in this solos competition we're going to be seeing even more of that. But what we're seeing right now, Kyrie taking a moment to just sneak on over, seeing if Zertle has noticed him. And with Kyrie's loadout right now, he's definitely not going to lose this. Is this going to be an opportunity for him to get one elimination on the board? Not too many mats now, and by waiting out this opportunity, he's just sacrificing more time to farm up and prepare for the end game right now. Glow looking for his second elimination right now onto Kurama, actually, and Kurama is going to be disengaging. No shields right now. He does not want to enter this fight.
I've seen Kurama playing these games before, and we've seen Glows and the hunting skill that he has. There's nowhere to really escape. Doesn't really miss a shot. I think that's a one pump there towards the end too. Kurama going down, trying to enter through that door. Kyrie still sneaky.
All right. Well, you know what? Zordal is going to be not taking too much of a change for that. Kyrie does end up farming just a little bit. Engaging now has kind of exposed him and no longer going to get any opportunities for tags there, but instead not actually backing up just yet. Going to be throwing down the grenade, and I thought that was the moment for him to engage, but instead just taking this moment, waiting for the right opportunity. Maybe he's waiting for Zertle to make the first move.
We've seen one's going to ask this question because I wanted to know if these fights were coming. I don't have a disposition to them. I just wanted to know what the context was for these players. And yeah, Mofu, unfortunately, is not going to have anybody to fight but the zone. And going down to it this early, I have to assume somebody was chasing him, and the zone is what takes him down. Sky Jump, another sneaky fight. This is more what? Central overall on the map?
That's a good question, Shayo.
Yeah, I mean, we're geoguessing the minimap right now, but we don't know.
If there is not a title on the screen, then I do not know. It's too new into the season.
It's all good. Give us 4 games, and we will be experts. I promise.
Oh, wow. That's Shayo's promise, everyone. I never said anything about a promise. Sky Jump, though, taking some opportunities to just farm up next to one of the vending machines, and that definitely seems to be another meta that's like kind of transitioned over the last few seasons, is the priority of gold and what you can kind of purchase. So you'll see right there these kind of chests and safes throughout the map, and more opportunities to find gold so that you can use those vending machines to your advantage.
Nice.
Yeah. Everyone's looking for those, the 7 sliders is the main mobility, or I say the main mobility. It's the grenade still, as we can see. No one's actually picking them up, but an opportunity for some early rotations with those, the 7 sliders is able to be purchased in the vending machines.
Did the zip lines make it? Those ones where you just like
No.
shoot them in the air? No. That's sad. Is there a grappler in the game?
No.
No.
Well, I'm talking about competitive. I actually have not. I haven't touched casual, so I don't know what's in
I'm
that.
talking about competitive too.
Yeah.
I mean, casual probably has everything. I'm just looking at.
There's like a whole
this
thing
game,
of
man.
sprites, and like they're trying to be like arc raiders, where you have to go in, you can carry it, and you bring it to you outside of the game, like an extraction shooter. They've added
the rare sprites. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I saw some stuff about that. Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but I know that they're in casuals.
I'd imagine putting that in competitive, and you just have like people either playing for a prize pool or like a 0.1% sprite. It'd be crazy.
Somehow it's always Peter that finds it.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to challenge him then. Nice damage, Rampant Decay. And again, we talked about how competitive these lobbies can be on PlayStation. Surge is a big thing, and we've seen people go down to Surge in the past as well. This lobby might be the lightest we've had this year, actually, in terms of how things get in Game 1. A lot of the times, again, 80 people, sometimes 90, still left alive. But even with the 75 on screen, Kelly, this Surge will be a factor later in the game.
It definitely will. We saw a lot of early aggression, but it definitely seems to have slowed down, which is, typical for Zone 3 all the way until Zone 6 or 7 when everyone does start to get close up. But for right now, farming is the name of the game. Rax, although you are far into the corner, and it seems like the corners of the map are even deeper, but I can imagine that he's probably got some kind of static launch pad or some opportunity for rotations nearby. But speaking of opportunities, an opportunity for elimination for either Rax or the opponent that's nearby. Darius just closely waiting. But it looks like Rax is aware that he's there. Is he going to be able to get the jump on him, though? Back to full HP, and it looks like Darksea doesn't actually have any medkits, but Rax going to be disengaging, not going to be worth the potential loss of life, and instead slowly rotating his way back into zone.
Yeah, what he's been doing so far is just getting those mats up. Full metal, full break takes a long time, so now you can just play the rest of your game, while people like Day, who might not be on form, no, Day's totally fine. What am I talking about? Also 555. Muro, though, might not be on form. And these are the players who have been fighting a lot recently. Might not have to worry about damage too much now, but it's about getting back in the game after all your fights. I don't know why we're not chugging up, but it might just be because the hunter is around. You don't want to make any noise, or that visualizer will give you away. Muro now finally building, and this is where he can hopefully shield up and be at peace.
Man, I knew that Battle Woods was going to have a lot of players landing over in. It is definitely the biggest POI with the most opportunity to split, but I wasn't expecting half the lobby to already be there. Speaking of the other half of the lobby looks like they're going to be over on the south side of this very central-looking zone, actually. Kind of a little bit closer to the western edge of it, but still relatively central, so a lot of opportunities for all of our players all over the edges of the map having an easier time rotating to the center zone.
Now, Kelly, if you didn't watch anime, how would you pronounce this guy's name?
Zad.
Zadratak? But since you have watched anime, what is his name?
Oh, Zadritachi.
Yeah, Zadri Itachi from Naruto, right? I would assume. Hopefully.
Is his first name Zadri? I know Itachi is from Naruto, but...
Yeah, no, I mean, this guy's name is Zadri, and I think he's attached Itachi to it.
Okay, that's pretty sweet.
Itachi Uchiha, right? Famously.
Yeah. The brother of Sasuke Uchiha.
True.
Yeah.
The son of their parents.
He eliminated his village, right?
Eliminated as a choice of words. Yeah, for sure. Got lots of Elam points on that one. I wonder. The record book's what it shows.
Hey, it's Curve. Oh man, let me just say, very excited to watch Curve, and I'm really excited. I think this is actually the first time we're seeing him in one of the PlayStation Cups. But new teammate to Higgs. That's right, Clicks and Higgs have broken up after many years together. And Curve, who had an opportunity with Venno, they actually had an incredible performance for NA, winning the NA tournament. Then gave their shot over in EU. It didn't necessarily have the best performance over there, nor did they have the best performance in the Summit LAN. But regardless, I kind of understand why they split up, and I think that Curve has just learned so much from Venno, and I'm hoping him and Higgs have a good performance in this next major.
I hope so too. Is it still duos for like the rest of the season, the whole year? That's always decided before, right?
So they announced that it's going to be duos until globals, but they changed the win globals. It was like originally supposed to be in November, and they moved things around, so it's going to be in September. And in October, they're going to actually do a solos FNCS.
Ooh, solos FNCS, always fun. I still play for trios every day. Best mode.
Yeah, give it a year. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? 5, 6 mans. You never know. Think you crazy.
Ooh.
Leaks. Well, today though, it's numbers are on the line, right? Once again, first place 3,500. Everybody here already getting a little bit of money for playing the game, but wanted to hit that top 10. Zaji on the rotate too, having a little bit of trouble. And I was talking about it while the game started, but again, days of play also going on. And the number for them is 10 titles in PlayStation Tournament. So if it's not Fortnite, there's some other ones there too, but you can just go on your PlayStation and check it out. At the same time, the sweepstakes I was talking about too, the winners, we got, you can take a PlayStation Portal home, a DualSense Edge wireless controller, 12 months of PS Plus Premium, $100 PS Store credit. I mean, these are all things that make your Fortnite gameplay better, but any experience on PlayStation better too, Kelly.
And most importantly, what Shio is missing, everyone, is that the last day for Days of Play is today, June 10th. So if you guys are going to be entering this, looking at the tournaments or the opportunities, I saw myself that there was a ton of deals on games that I want to check out once the show is done. So do it now. Make sure that you guys check it out because Days of Play is going to be wrapping up today.
Very true. Okay, just starting their game though. Not wrapping anything up just yet. This zone might just wrap up half the lobby right now. This is a rough one to rotate into.
Yeah, it looked like it was going western. That is a harsh eastern pull for a lot of the players that seemed like they were going to be going for kind of an emptier zone pull. Unfortunately for them, just going to be congested now over on that western side. Excited to see how the teams over in the eastern side are going to be able to handle that. Fragger also below storm damage, but no longer going to be having that issue after getting an elimination. Oh no, not
Harambe! It's 2016 again, please!
Stop! Oh my gosh! Cade! Ooh, here we go. This is another nice little thing in the center of the map. I'm fairly certain it probably rips you away, but I don't know because I actually haven't gotten to it yet. Cade looking to get over to just another player, another opportunity to get some shots onto someone to deal with this storm damage. Skex also below the storm damage. Hopefully going to get into this engagement and not go down.
Yeah, we talked about some of the priorities for people. You'll notice a lot of the players who are not getting struck by this lightning have a lot of mats, have some good loot, but when finding all this treasure, they have not gone for the boon of finding players, and as a result, they are not going to be able to play the game. Cade, falling down to Cade, and decisions that he made previously. All good, though. Look at some of these other players that have made the right decisions. We'll fly past a lot of them and stop on Tentex, who is already in zone. And I was going to talk about this too, Kelly. This zone, the natural low ground now on this map, seems completely hellish. I mean, it's rivers everywhere. There's nothing neutral anymore. It feels like being on the ground is a problem.
It's definitely going to be an issue for a lot of the players dealing with these kind of box fights right here. Arctic Spam taking a few shots, but does end up getting third party, so he decides to not go after that one player he got a good spray onto. But with just 70 damage above, he's not out of the weeds just yet. Lulu even deeper into the weeds right now. Looks like they are just looking for any kind of opportunity for someone to give an angle, someone to expose themselves, but everyone is boxed up right now. Mats are being spent, and it's only zone 6. This seems pretty built up right now for how early we are in the game.
Yeah, people are bunkered down right now. Isofulu gonna be the bridesmaid or the bride? I wonder, because you are not at the I was gonna say podium, the pedestal. Where do you get there? The chapel. Listen, you're not getting proposed to right now. The damage threshold, it's not looking good for the finger and the ring at the moment. You got to be able to find your husband, aka damage, somewhere in this game. And staying in this box, you got to maybe fly home. Go abroad. There it is. Oh, in the sewers of these builds. That's huge.
That is incredible. Congratulations to the lovely wife and husband in that engagement right there. That was the wedding of my dreams. I know Expo A, though, is definitely having a bit more of a divorce kind of vibe going on right now, and the divorce that he's going to be facing is with the server himself. Going to be going back to the lobby unless he's able to get just a few shots onto some players, but the lightning is not friendly enough, and it looks like he's going to be going back to the battle bus.
Yeah, smart from Sin and a bunch of these players inside the zone to make it really tough for people to rotate into these little communal builds being propped up on all sides. Again, so bunkered, so low to the ground. Nobody wants to expend many materials. You'll notice in duos, it's easier to make these higher builds, go for a more structured rise. But when you just have these many mats to deal with yourself, you have less angles to worry about. You want to be a bit more frugal with everything. Swexy will be here slightly above Surge, 46 players left alive, in a tough spot if the zone rotates far away.
Man, it just seems like everyone is just skating by on the precipice of going below storm damage right now, all worrying if anyone's going to start changing how that storm damage is calculated, because it just takes one or two players to drop for your number to go up or down drastically. So doing what you can right now, especially as the lightning is starting to hit, that is all you need. Rampant decay. It's also your health that's going to be rampantly decaying if you don't get a shot in.
Yeah, that's about like 8 seconds left. 6 seconds left. 5. Ooh, above. We're totally fine. He buys a little bit of time, but look at all these people behind him who are also scared. Shot coming in, he finally gets to move. Vin, Cyclops also there. The different modes you can see right now. People in storm, stressful. People in box fights looking for damage, looking to get ahead of the competition. Again, 3 points for every elimination here. You got to be active right now. Curve, you talked about him, Kelly. He's trying to make it work.
This is his opportunity right now. We can see that he is starting to get a little bit low in mats, but as far as heals and loadout go, he's in a pretty good position. Not going to try to stick to the low ground right now, and not necessarily going for high. Zone 8, it's still pretty early right now, but if anyone can make that move, it can be Curve. Goes for the shot, disengages pretty quickly right now because there's still too many people moving, and that zone is going to be moving as well. But it looks like he's actually going to be going deeper into zone, and maybe an opportunity for him to take height right now. He knows that not too many people are going to be worried about looking behind him, and he does actually end up going for, looks like, second height right now. I don't know how many people are above him, but this does give him kind of an opportunity to go for height if he does peek up and get Exertal here.
Got to see the zone stretching and bouncing back, or really moving away from all these flares though. If it's a bounce back, it's not a lot of time. It's awkwardly moving towards the other side, so got to be very careful on how many mats you burn here. More people moving all throughout height and curve. Found in his builds again, in trouble. Make that double for now. Has to make 2 boxes as well. He's running out of mats, running out of life, getting chased down. The double edit is so cool. The enigma and the solution from curve is amazing. Has a med kit, can buy some time. This game survives.
Good on to Clixie right there, although didn't have too many mats for that refresh, but still another opportunity to stay alive and get more points. Zertal also doing that with tons of heals right now. He's going to be making this move, and looks like he's going to be sticking to the mid ground right now. A good position up on the hill, so he doesn't have to worry about rotating. But Shayu, you say, oh no, I'm looking to Cyclops right now. One eye on the sky, and he's going to be gone. Best mechs, best aim. Can he prove that? With 3 eliminations, he's doing a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, from that perspective that I saw beforehand, the entire lobby is on low ground. There's a big mountain in the way. Best max, best aim. I see you're on the low, but look at how squished things are getting now. You have to either move all the way on the side, nice slide, or get up that mountain. This low ground position is going to be so hard to play.
Ooh, I am enough, proving that he's enough to be holding the high ground right now against everyone else, and it looks like just how much shambles is for the low and mid ground. I can't imagine anyone feeling confident enough to try and steal away high ground, especially from I Am Enough, who has decent build. He's not looking too concerned right now, although a little low, which does give an opportunity for someone to go for that steal. But Kanji on low right now, no eliminations, possibly going to be going for one right here, but just moving, trying to survive. It looks like eliminations isn't the name of the game for him.
He's still into the box though. It's a surprise. The spray can't find the target. He goes down. KMR down on low. A blessing for him as his zone keeps moving away from height. Lots of work for enough to do. 44 mats. He has to make this last 2 more zones. Lots of ammo to work with. Pistol in tow. The shotgun for maybe that last 1v1. He wants to actually prioritize the shields to stay alive in this 1v1v1.
Playing this high really smart. He's playing it patiently. He's looking to see if anyone's going for the heal off below him. He knows that the aggression down below will come down to 1v1, so he just needs to wait for the low ground to engage. But it looks like the low ground has other plans. K-More's going to be attacked from both angles right now. Vale going to have with 7 eliminations, trying to make that 8 against the other 2 solo players, but now it's just 1. I Am Enough on the high ground with 1 elimination, and now it's going to be a 1v1.
Goes for the edit on the left side. The control here, the pacing from Enough is nice. Completely blocking out the player. Goes for the drop play again. Has the edits, but doesn't choose to end the game just yet. Miklish lets him die to the ground. I Am is definitely enough for the first victory royale.
Oh, there was a moment there where he was finessing and moving, but he was stuck in Storm. I was scared that he was just not going to realize how low his HP was, but played it smart, was able to get in zone just enough time to get that final shot off. Congratulations to I Am Enough, one of our veterans here in the PlayStation Cup. So love to see him winning game number 1.
Absolutely. That game too was a little bit chaotic and really stressful, I feel like, for the players. Sometimes you get to see some flair in a PlayStation Cup. People get to do not trolly things, but exuberant, fantastic things in height or while the zones are moving. Kelly, in that one, everyone's bunkered low. Height is barely that high. There's mountains in the way. That is a hard game to play.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people haven't really had too many opportunities to play solo competitions for this new season. So I think for a lot of our competitors, this is kind of an opportunity to test things out and to see exactly how solo is going to be run. And for that game, it seemed like not too many people were looking to high ground. Everyone just kind of testing the waters. I would imagine, though, going from here on out, more people are probably going to be trying to fight for high ground.
Hopefully, I mean, even in the beginning, though, you want to be able to fight to get some, organization going for your game. So many people dying to Surge, I feel like, overall, are getting eliminated by Surge as the game was going on. At the same time, the one player I can think of that was having a very good early time, Low, hunting from, like, player to player instead of position to position. That was really cool. And then the last thing in that game, just the way low ground is now, I talked about it a little bit, but all those rivers, the way the map is now, it's just canyons and valleys over and over again. It's so rough. That being said, Time Enough staying above all of it. Amazing choice. From start to finish, I feel like he had a real good control and pulse of the game.
Yeah, 100%. And we did get to take a quick look at Glow there. You called him out, had a really good early game. And just taking a look at some of the teams here that were below damage, but getting those clutch shots to just jump above that threshold right now. Curve, one of the players that I was keeping an eye on, but with how chaotic this end game was, especially on that low and mid ground, it doesn't matter how much of a veteran you are, all it takes is one quick shot and you're going to be back to the battle bus. I am enough, proving though from high ground and through his patience that he is enough to win the first game. Congratulations once again to I Am Enough. Excited to see how that is going to be kind of shaking up the leaderboard, but for right now, we know that I Am Enough is probably at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I was squinting at that picture at the end there too, and I thought that somebody just leaked their house, but that is one of the POIs inside Fortnite production. No, don't do it. We got 60 points up top, 6 eliminations to total with as well, and that's a 78 total for I Am Enough. You can see though that Vale all the way, or Ian, should I say, is just 4 points behind. I think that is the threshold for second overall, but you know, the eliminations really are the things that are close to the gap here, Kelly.
Yeah, wow. I mean, yeah, he did get second place, so it's not like it was like, oh, eliminations are making that much of a difference. But it does go to show that early aggression is going to be helping out a lot of the players, like what we saw from like Cyclops, or even from some of our other players that may have gone down a little bit earlier. Getting those points is just going to help you hold up in the leaderboard, because it's not just about getting a win, it's about consistency, and eliminations is part of that consistency. But just taking a look at some of the other names that we have here, I already mentioned Cyclops with 6 eliminations as well, but K-More is doing a pretty good job in the mid ground for that game too.
Yeah, Kyrie over here that we were expecting being a little bit more sneaky. Zorro that you were calling out as well, Kelly, on like how he was kind of, you know, just receiving a lot of pressure. And then Rampant Decay, who solved, you know, the surge issues, made a little bit of an impact on the leaderboard overall, which is very nice so far. First game, PlayStation Cup, looking pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how things change. Also excited to, you know, just watch the game and learn a little bit. It's, you know, a new season, new opportunities for players to kind of change the meta. I only saw 7 sliders in that game, which I knew there wasn't going to be a lot of them, but it was kind of cool, and I can imagine someone, maybe not carrying it to the end game, but maybe they eliminate someone and it gets dropped, and then they get to make some crazy plays with it. That's what I would like to see in the next few games, is some plays with the 7 sliders.
Yeah, I want to see more people living inside these end games as well. I want to see the early game being a little bit more stacked overall. I feel like there is a little bit of that newness because of the season, not knowing exactly where the best surge base positions are, where people are landing around you. But when you have the same people playing over and over again, I think by game 4 or 5, that's some really stacked games.
Yeah, definitely. So, excited to see when we're going to be jumping into game number 2 for Days of Play PlayStation Cup. And if you guys are just joining us right now, in fact, if you've never joined us for the PlayStation Cups before, welcome. PlayStation loves to run these tournaments all year round, so make sure that you guys are following PlayStation on social media, because Shio and I have been on like half a dozen PlayStation Cups so far now, and I'm sure we're going to be on much more later on throughout the year. PlayStation has done a bunch of variety of games, whether that's through duos, solos, we've had zero builds, we've had normal battle royale. So if there's a game mode in your mind that you guys want to play, well, PlayStation might be running a tournament, so keep an eye on those.
Yeah, very easy to join too. You literally just log in to your PlayStation or turn it on, go to a tournaments tab. It's very, very simple. Press that PS button. At the same time, for the people that are playing today, they've done that. They've played through the qualifiers. They've tapped into this competition now. Prize pool is kind of like the classic mode of what we have available at the PlayStation Cup. So again, they're playing for an overall amount of money. The wins still matter, right? They get you closer towards that top. We got some people now towards the top 2 that want to be consistent. I'm Enough, high ground win. Now, famous Kelly quote, how does it go? High ground wins games, but what's the other part?
Low grounds wins wars.
Ah, yes. Is that the same case for this season for you after that first game? I want to hear the Kelly review.
Oh, well, I don't know. This is like, you know, the pool of stats is too small. We can't really tell. I mean, yes, usually high ground wins games. And why we say that low ground wins tournaments is that you typically end up staying alive a lot longer because the high ground is so volatile. But Shio, we saw from match number 1 that wasn't that volatile. I Am Enough pretty much had that in the bag from zone 10 on. No one really fighting for it. And I can, you know, maybe that's going to be repeated throughout the day. I'm hoping we have just a little bit more aggression, maybe from some of our veteran players for this next endgame.
Yeah, and if the low ground 2 is that much of a hazard to play as well, you might just see people locking in. Frosted Flats, though, is exactly the choice of the winner of game 1, I Am Enough, to lock down with. and it's not looking too frosty, Kelly. This is used to be a tundra. Now it's like a little ice cream scoop of a POI. This is crazy.
Yeah, you know how, it's a lot of like California, Southern California based locations, and in California we're, surrounded by a desert, but there is some mountains that have snowy peaks, so maybe that's kind of what we're reflecting right here. I Am Enough trying to reflect game number 1 success with some early aggression, but just a few shots coming out into Electro's side. Doesn't really look like I Am Enough is going to be engaging too much, but there is 4 players here in Frosted Flats, and with it being that blue POI, he's going to have an opportunity for some more rare items.
Wow.
And looks like he is going to get that purple rifle, but doesn't pick up the sliders. Oh.
How do the sliders work? Because I haven't seen them in use at all. So they're boots pretty much. I thought they were like burgers. This Fortnite always has food stuff. So I was looking for small burgers. But how do the sliders work for those who haven't seen them so far?
So if you just hit control, it slides for you, and there's like a cooldown period for it. And like if you let it, cool down, if you let it go all the way to the bottom of the cooldown, it'll take longer to recharge. But if you go through the river where you see all the purple effects, the cooldown is like infinite, but it like does still have a limited amount that you can use.
I see. Okay, so we did see one person sliding in mid-game last time. That's what you're referring to in the replay package
yes.
too. I thought it was just one of those, replay things that we've been dealing with for 9 years. I'm like, oh, his slide's going so far. That's a new one. That's so cool. Nice. Gold battering too this season, as you were talking about the vending machines and competitive. That's a big change too. Able to map your path, get your med kits if you need them, or just find them inside a chest. Those machines are always an option for shields as well. But it's very cool to see, like, one person landing kind of central where there's a blue POI, somebody else. This is not even a named location. Vale, second place overall, is rocking through just completely scavenger path.
Yeah, we saw Ian coming through with some like aggression and going for the eliminations. He got second place, but definitely going for eliminations. And I do wonder how many of them was early eliminations, or how many of them are we just not going to see for right now. And he's more of a mid and end game. But Dark Hue, early aggressions definitely coming out for him on Rax right now. Does get the elimination onto Rax as Dark Hue starts off pretty strong.
Yeah, last time it was a little bit of a messy one right off spawn. This one requires a lot more chase down, and Dark Hue still locks it down. Navix going for a trap plan, another blue POI, and you're talking about the sliders. Here they are. It is time to get sliding, my friend.
Come on. I think it looks really cool. And that to me is so much more important than practicality.
Oh, it's true. This is an interesting strat though. It's giving me like, chapter 2, chapter 1 vibes of someone really bunkering down, maybe not wanting to get pressurized by a chaser, because then the other person comes in, third party central, you don't want to ruin your own game. But
yeah,
Evix's time, it's going to take so long just being this evasive.
Well, I think he knows that the other player is probably sneaking around him, so he's trying to get an angle onto him. They're both just sneaking around each other, but Davy may think that he has an opportunity here to disengage and run away, and it does look like the other player is going to get a few shots on him, but Dave able to get just enough distance. Hey, there we go. Oh, wow. You didn't... What? You didn't even need to drop them. Why?
I could have held on to them for a little bit, but maybe making peace with the item. It may be a curse for him as he was moving around the map. All good.
These players are significantly better than me. They know what they're doing.
Hey, you still know ball. There was literally no reason to drop that item. Maybe it ran out of its fuel, or there was a CD on it. But yeah, maybe you can get a few more things, then rotate into it. Nice shots from X6, who we've seen in the competition before too, Kelly, right? He's been here for a while.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely one of our finals competitors that we see time and time again. Same thing with Star Rooney, if that's who I think it is. But Arctic going to be going down. This is going to be the end of the run for him for game number 2. Does get a few points, but Dark Hue also collecting a few points. Looks like game number 1 wasn't his game, so glad to see some changes being made for Dark Hue. And X6 now also with only just 3 points, looking to make some moves and some changes for game number 2. But has a nice little high ground right here. But as I say that, he is going to be dropping down. Doesn't look like there's too much opportunities over here, so going to be making a move.
Gonna get out for now. Nice rotation. All about survival at this portion of the game. Already a few players getting used to how things are working. I think we stopped at 74 players last time. Now it's 77. It should just get, or it should just get higher and higher as we continue with the day. Cyclops, lots of points on the board, was in that top 10, and right now was the, I would say, top 3 players in height on the map for the moment. I mean, what is going on here in the outside of the map?
Well, just waiting for the player down below in the basement to expose himself, give a little bit of vision so the Cyclops can get just a quick shot in, and looks like it's going to be a game of chicken. Who is afraid of the storm more? Who's willing to go down to just a sliver of health? And it looks like Tonir is the one that's going to be dropping. Cyclops now has just a little bit more of an understanding of where he is, but doesn't look like he's too interested in that fight with just 20 HP to his name. Instead, going to be running away and looking for some white heals.
Found barely a few. We'll have to chain those into hopefully a met kit he might have not picked up for looting before. Curve back in action. Didn't have a bad game in the last one, but would 100% like to have a few more points, around 40 away from first place, or honestly 35, but let's round up.
And you can see a lot of these players with chug jugs, and although that might be due to the fact that they just found them, a lot of them is for people grabbing gold and buying them at the vending or mending machines. So having that heals, having that opportunity to kind of just carry this into the end game, very important for a lot of players. Dark Hue going to be grabbing some metal over here and some gold as well. And it looks like he has just no issues farming up right now. He's not too concerned about Storm. No one's near him, so it looks like he's just going to have all the opportunity to farm right up. It's still not even at 100 mats, so I can understand why he's sticking into Storm.
Wondering if Glow is alive as well. Really fun player to watch very early on, as he likes to put the pressure on everybody around him. But we're going back into the Battle Woods a little bit, back into the central portion of the map, which means a lot of the same names we were looking at last time who played well should be fun to watch this time too. Fragger up top had some nice bases, some really good shots, box to box. And he's going to be right here towards the south side of Battle Woods. People towards the desert as well. We got to be keeping in mind of one of the players who are in the lead too. Frost Santa is nearby. I think that's time enough. He should also have zone prio, so another game to maybe take high ground and keep control of the lobby.
Speaking of high ground, I am enough, although this isn't high ground, taking a little bit of a tower, a little bit of surge base, get some shots onto these rotating players, and with it being a western zone, a lot of these players on the eastern side are going to have to make their way onto the edge of that zone, which I am enough has positioned himself up on this little plateau. He's in between 2 different river splits, so a lot of players might be using this as an opportunity to rotate in. I'm liking this position from I am enough, especially with that gold AR.
It might last like genuinely the rest of the game. This might be where the end game starts from, potentially, on how these zones will move. We talk about Glows, 8 total points so far, still getting so active inside this game. I'm not sure if you read the format wrong and saw that it was 60 points per elim and 3 points for placement, but this guy's been fighting for the last 2 games every time we watch him. Nice at it, almost a chance for a jump in, first shot over in the window as well. So accurate, Glows, in the business.
Oof, but definitely running out of mats as this fight continues on. And now he's going to have to pop some of his minis, also probably his chug jug as well, and that is going to be a rough position to be in as we get closer to the middle part of this game. He's going to have to disengage, maybe find some opportunities to farm up, but being in Battle Woods right now, everything is so condensed, everything is just so like densely populated with different buildings and not too much opportunities to farm up.
That's very tough at this point. You have to maybe just bank on the zone moving a bit, or take the risk to run as much as possible and get your mats back up. Going up in this little building, I see a lot of brick potential, metal potential here as well. Metal, usually very scarce and hard to find, but this time it feels like it's every other building that's kind of a, you know, substation for lots of these metal parts to enter your inventory. Okay, never mind. Go all the way back.
I'm interested Okay, so he knew where some medkits were. Maybe he was able to ping that earlier on. And it looks like he's doing a dead side rotation onto this western zone, but a few other players are already in his way, so he's gonna have to be a little careful. I'm surprised of the lack of farming going on right now with just 46 builds. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Flo.
I think Glow's best bet will be once the zone starts to move. Very aggressive players like seeing boxes pressured by time a little bit. And also, it's the best time to get into a box when everyone's just building their bases. So he's going to look for something, poke and prod around, third party a fight, or move right past it and use it for position this time. We're actually moving away from Battle Woods. There's a lot of ground to cover here, as things are very hilly. It'll take you a while to go up and down and up and down. The Glows has made it all the way through halfway in the zone right now, but has a little bit more of a ways to go. We'll choose to fight instead.
Well, I mean, you know, here I am judging him for not farming, but why farm when you can just get elimination and get all of their mats? So it looks like Glow is going to be going for the aggressive play instead. Actually, looks like he was going to be going for the vending machine, but does get pulled out by PodTech right there, not able to actually make a play onto the vending machine. Actually, good builds right here. Is he going to be able to buy? Just a big pot is all he needs right now. And it looks like PodTech is not going to be punishing him for that. In fact, it looks like he's actually just going to be running away. But Fragger has another plan in mind, does get a good shot onto Glow, but Glow able to box up and potentially take this into Fragger. Oh, Glow.
Okay. Yeah. Went on a window shot. Remember, this was a decision that Glow made in the past. Be in this spot, go for this fight. As Kelly said, earn the mats by stealing them, not by working for them. Off the walls. Now stuck in a stalemate against Fragger. One of these guys has to move first. They both have the HP to keep stalling this fight.
Man, you know, you got to wonder how many mats and how much shield did he have before this engagement for the vending machine. And it really just goes to show you that being a top player is not necessarily doing everything right when it's going right, but seeing when something's going wrong and being able to realize that it's a lost cause and disengaging. Now Glow in just dire straits right now, down to 11 builds and low ammo, and that big pot gone, gold gone, hopes potentially gone as well.
Very human, keep your hope alive. I believe in Glow. For a very short minute. Let's move on though, because he's probably not living. June. No builds. It's a different mode, but maybe being forced into playing it for now is things are made on just one wood wall. While trying their best, just has one more floor to put down. They want to get up a little bit of elevation. Grandfather tree in motion though, be able to give you just what? 2 more builds so far. Boosting in jumps. June was a little bit slow at getting those builds out. Might be that target that Glow just needs.
Flicks looking for a target as well, as he is 60 damage below the storm, but just so much congestion on the southern side of the zone right now is actually going to be a bit of a double-edged sword. More players means more opportunities to shoot, but that also means that you are also a bigger target. But for right now, it seems like he's going to be able to take a moment to breathe, and does get lucky as Fragger does go down, and that is going to give him an opportunity to be above storm damage. Fable, though, not in a similar situation, also in dire straits, but it does look like that storm damage is just bouncing all around. Maybe just waiting is the name of the game, but with dwindling heals and dwindling mats, Fable might not be able to wait too much longer. Hype's going to have to move now with just 11 HP and so many people focusing on him. He is going to go down to Clixie.
Bleezy back in action.
Oh, that is his name, isn't it?
It's my rendition. I like Pavel too. Everyone's got different identities. I mean, the one thing I don't think that he likes about his name or himself at the moment is being under Surge, and so he's gonna hopefully fix that. 20 below now. 150 should buy him about 5 seconds of time. Rampant Decay still popping up in the feed, finding Elims.
Let's go. Cable or Pebleezy definitely gonna have to get some eliminations. 24 HP, 70 damage down below, and so many people aware with those lightning strikes gonna have just a target on your back. What is he going to do? Unfortunately, doesn't get the shot, and he does go down. Now down to 59 players in the lobby. Con Art not going to have to worry at all. In fact, one of the only players I've seen with 200 damage above Storm. And look at that loadout right now. He's got a good situation going into the mid game, but unfortunately for him, he is in the back of the pack for rotations. That eastern all the way into the western side is just going to be rout with so many other players. He's going to have to play safe if he wants to make it into the zone alive.
Wants to be able to play it safe, but the lobby will never let you do that, even if you're picking the best lines overall. People are starting to fly now. You got to take into account wherever you are. This low ground is gated by big mountains on both sides. Everybody in one max box. From this position, Matthias would usually be in a spot to be able to make 2 boxes, have more options, but you have to reserve your mats right now. It's going to be very tough to move if the zone pulls east.
Shio, look at that western side of the zone. There is no one there, and that just makes me think that everyone is on the precipice of storm damage. No one can afford to rotate away from where all the congested players are because they need to get those shots. And look just where that zone pulls again. We're talking about congestion. Well, that right there is going to be a traffic jam.
Yeah, this is like, you know, your super allergy person during the seasonal change, having the flu and getting stung by a bee at the same time. It's sickness at the moment with this zone. Everybody is going to be in the bottom right and be super congested is the word I'm looking for. Flex has to be very careful and diligent for every single layer. Fighting diagonal in the sky jump, very good option. Isolated, but immediately as he starts spraying, Kate at the bottom, Ivan up to the bottom left, Aloe in the same layer and 3 people above him. He's surrounded on all sides by goats. We're not even on a mountain right now.
Wow. Wow, you know, I'm not too certain, but Flick's going up against Sky Jump, that seems like an offense, a violation, because that's a French versus a French player, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So you would imagine that they coming over into North America and invading our region, they would be sticking together right now, but no, it looks like it is just all for themselves. Flick's taking any opportunities he can get to get some damage, especially being 140 damage below the threshold. He does not care who you are or where you are from. He's going to be taking a few shots onto you, looking behind him, hoping that some players are just being caught out, making some late rotations. But Flicks, unfortunately, it looks like you're one of the latest people to make it in there. No one's behind you.
Yeah, I mean, Eloquent jumps from box to box to be able to save mats. Bullying down to Astro Noisy, but again, not much found in terms of points, not much found in terms of damage. 127 below. 6 minis left. How long can you decay and delay is the question. 103 below now. Con Art getting Cyclops. The zone is moving super south, so now we're moving through a forest. We talked about those rivers. Low ground will be very volatile, but upkeeping with high ground on this point is going to also be so expensive.
Making it to Zone 8 right now, that is when we're going to start seeing some players looking towards the sky. Right now, the sky is just riddled with so many players trying to make their rotation over, and that's going to give a lot of players an opportunity to just take these tags. A lot of players just flying in the sky like salmon jumping upstream, and a bunch of bears waiting up above to grab them. But Flick's able to get 130 damage above, now in a safer position. Patek also with 1 elimination, going to be safe from storm damage right now. And in fact, everyone's going to have a bit of a breather as more and more players go down.
Yeah, Curve taking out our lobby leader for the moment. So he's going to be down and out for the count. That being said, Ian's still alive, getting who picks on all sides as well. Curve taken away. I do still see some of the top 10 Rampant Decay still active. So first place frozen for the moment. I Am Enough has been taken down. Everybody else now is on the come up. And we're in the top 34 for the moment in terms of people that are alive. So PlayStation's been divvied out every single elimination. Kanji is moving all the way through and is nicely segmenting himself inside the front of the zone. We pulled down even further south. This is a test on how many mats you can save. This is a test on the refreshes. This is a test for the French players down on low ground, and Flix is not passing with flying colors.
But look at where that zone is. We are so close to the Battle Woods, and if that zone pulls over there, it is just going to get even more congested. Still 28 players alive, a quarter of the lobby, and Kanji is moving around like he is the only player alive. No one taking any shots on him. Great rotations into the front part of zone, and it looks like True is also sticking to the mid ground right now, just trying to find a space for himself to box up, as he is low on mats and down with no shields right now. He just has to hope for a refresh opportunity. But looking into the sky right now, Arjun looks like he he's going to be the one holding high ground. And if you look at his mats, he's low and he's down to wood builds. All that anyone needs to do is peek up and see these solo wood builds is definitely not the position a high ground player wants to be in.
Yeah, he's chopping his own mats by accident too. Already all the way up top. The tech down below going to be reversed back into Storm. They finding picks. We're finally getting their own too. This is not real high ground. This cannot survive. It's not sustainable. It will not thrive. And finally, Arisen is going to be forced to go down towards these boxes. Boxy Noir going to be low, forcing a clash against True down below. He's going to try to slide in. Nothing found. And Arisen's in trouble.
He's making some moves, though. I appreciate this play. He's aware that he doesn't have any builds, so that's what he's going to have to do. But a player finally fighting for high ground, finally realizing, wait, no one's building. I'll do that instead, and does go and take high ground. But Arsen's not giving up just yet. Still looking for that refresh, looking for anyone to engage with.
Yeah, sits back, uses the chug. We're going up a super mountain, it feels like, though, towards the very end of this. Ian still alive. Second place overall into the portion and position of 128. He's leading the lobby so far. 4 eliminations for him. Vediana plays ahead of the zone, ahead of everyone's brains for the moment. Rampant Decay, top 10, is trying to climb up the podium as well, but it's this mountain that'll be the divider between the top and the rest of the lobby.
Vediana now has no more mats, but they find this little bit of height, this little bit of opportunity to still control the high ground and gets a few shots on the players down below. What a blessing to have this just angle of high ground, but does have to drop down, does get an elimination, and now it's coming down to a 1v1. Vediana versus Ian, our second place player, going on the aggressive, does go for high ground, and it looks like he's got builds, he's got everything, and he does get the victory royale for game number 2.
Staying in the trenches, surviving on low. Ian, an amazing first game in combination with an amazing performance in the second. First place overall, and I'm liking the proactivity from Vediana to stay ahead of the pack, use all the mats to get the placement. Ian, though, gets the combo of that placement, control of the materials, and that win overall with some elims to boot too. I mean, that's a phenomenal performance.
Yeah, a lot of players are going to be looking towards Ian now. I can imagine that he's going to be at the top of our leaderboard. But that game, once again, a lot of chaos going in. As far as rotations go, it looked like that zone was just always congested. No one was able to go to any dead side rotations because everyone was just so close to Storm Surge.
Yeah, they stayed congested to a point where there was like a top 15 out in the way. Suddenly, 5 seconds later, top 4. It like crushed. Hydraulic pressed the entire lobby. It was so tough to live from that position. And Vediana tries to live. Ian really thrives.
Yeah, and it seemed like, man, mats was also just a concern for everyone in that end game, and just refreshes were not being handed out the way that these aggressive players were looking for. So just no opportunity to get any new mats. But honestly, I do have to give some shout outs to the players finally looking up and kind of, I believe it was Vediana, who was like, okay, there's no one on high ground. I should probably try and take that. And then, of course, Ian realizing as well that there's so much chaos going on. I'm just going to get a few eliminations. And then when high ground opens itself up, I'll take that myself.
Yeah, you can even see outside the end game, towards the earlier portions of this match, people are starting to kind of wisen up on how to survive, and at the same time are getting more creative with their trap plays. Towards the end of this, though, as we broke it down, it's such a tricky situation in the end game. I feel like now with how much low ground has changed, how many random mountains there are in their way as well. I mean, the loot from Ian, by the way, in that game, fully golden. That guy knows what's going on.
Ooh, and I'm sure he now knows what's going on in our match results. This is just the results for match number 2, not our total leaderboard, but with those 6 eliminations and the 60 points from the Victory Royale, 78 points in just one game, and Vediana right behind him, of course. And actually, it's a little bit less of a spread. I feel like in game number 1, we kind of had some more heavy elimination players, but it looks like 4 eliminations is the next highest.
Yeah, lots of 6, lots of 7s. Y'all can do the gesture if you want. For me, yeah, there's a big split, and the biggest thing too, new names all across the board. I think in the top 10, the only ones I recognize as a repeat are Rampant Decay, that kind of halves their placement from 10 to 5. And then again, Ian Loves Vale having their placement from 2 to 1. So they're the two that get to keep shooting up in the lobby. I think Ian had 74 points in the first game as well. That's really going to put him way past the rest of the pack.
Oof, oh man, definitely, first place, that's what we're all fighting for. That is where the lion's share of the prize pool is going to be, and it is a big prize pool, everyone. $200,000 between Zero Builds and Battle Royale, and it's $100,000 between all the regions that we have for Battle Royale. So first place is $3,500, but every single player here isn't just competing to make a few dollars. No, they're going to try and get as high up the leaderboard as they can, because that is the difference of hundreds and even thousands of dollars.
It really is. If the tournament ended right now, walking away in first place would be Ian. As you can see by these stats and just the position on the leaderboard for the moment, $3,500. If you just have this average placement play out over and over again, you get second overall, that'll be $2,500 in total. So this guy right now is really swimming in the cash, and whatever the game plan is, if the zone ends up central, he's got a really good grasp of how to stay alive, get these eliminations, and really keep rocking out. I think it was 6 eliminations the first game, 6 in this one as well. It's a very, I mean, actually 7 in the first one. He is popping off. It's very hard to get that level of elims and then rock this down as well. Let's look at it real quick. Yeah, 13 elims overall, 152 points, Kelly.
Oof, a 50-point difference from first and second place, but we can already see that there is a tie between second and third. So there is still a crazy competition going on. And also, I'm already talking like Ian's won the whole thing. We got 4 more games to go. There is still plenty of opportunities for some players to maybe kind of bond review, see where Ian's landing. Maybe they're going to be dropping where he's going. In fact, I would love to see Ian's drop for game number 3, see what POI he's landing at, what his rotations look like, because it definitely seems like he is going into the end game with such a crazy loadout. I Am Enough, our winner from game number 1, also still doing pretty well, sitting in 4th place right now. He did go down in 43rd, but making it top 50 does get you a few placement points, so not the worst situation he could have been in.
Yeah, there's so many stories on that leaderboard actually that are really interesting. Like, you've got I Am Enough, like you mentioned, Kelly, 8 eliminations, a victory royale in like 4th place. Right below him, somebody with 1 elimination point and the equivalent amount of points. Like, if you're playing consistent placement overall right now, you're getting rewarded. If you have a pop-off game, it really rises you up and you get to stay where you are for a little bit. But there's other people who are kind of playing the game in a less risky fashion, really still, getting that money.
Yeah, I mean, there's usually like a meta within the meta of tournaments, but for you as an individual player, if you don't really care about getting first place and instead you kind of want to just survive and make it to the end game, placement points is obviously very valuable. So like you're saying, there might be some players that get 1 elimination the entire game, but if you're in the top 10, who cares?
Yeah, the pattern so far for these PlayStation Cups previously, though, I feel like has been the same names with high elims. Some of these guys who are in the end game really farming, it's been huge. This is the first time I'm seeing like 8, 10 eliminations next to 0 on some of these names. I think it's because it's such a new season. If you just play your life, you don't take these risks, you make it to every single end game, you're ready on it, you're looking for the high ground and whatnot, but you're not winning that last fight. It's actually proving to be really good. If you've got Fortnite ball knowledge, if you understand the fundamentals of the game right now, you are thriving in this big prize pool of a tournament.
Whew, thriving and surviving is the name of the game. Match number 3 will be underway in just a few short moments, making sure that our players are locked in the battle bus. Got to get those seatbelts on. Or, I guess most buses don't have seatbelts. I don't know.
Isn't that a concerning thing, by the way? Like, it has so many souls on board. We have them for airplanes. I've never understood why buses don't have seatbelts.
Some of them do, just not the one with children, right?
That's even, I mean, honestly, my fix, magnetic soles on your shoes, and you just sit. You know what I'm saying? And the driver just magnetizes. No, that's not good. That actually might be horrible. That might be worse, actually. Should not put me in the automotive industry. Yeah, let's just follow Ian. This POI. Look at the POI, guys. Nothing on this broadcast is a real professional advice. Please do not follow anything we say. Past going and participating in the Days of Play. PlayStation. My God. It's amazing to have this going on right now. Days of Play is actually ending today, Kelly. Could you believe that? June 10th.
I can believe it. I can, because I saw it, I read it, and then I was like, oh, And so we need to let everyone know, hey, guys, if you want to be part of this Days of Play PlayStation, it's been going on for a few weeks. There's been a lot of amazing tournaments, giveaways, and also deals right now. If there's a game that you are looking for, but maybe it's been a little too expensive, well, definitely go check out the PlayStation right now because they have a ton of deals on hundreds of games right now. And like Shayo said, it's going to be ending today. I think I actually looked it up. It's like 1 a.m. PST. Whatever time zone that is for you,
3 a.m.
figure
Eastern,
it out.
5 a.m. in the UK. You know, many, it's 2 a.m. What is that? 2 a.m. Central. I'm the translator. I'm the translator of time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I also appreciate Ian just diving in right away, knew his loot pool, or his loot pathing, my goodness, and just right from the start getting a great loadout. But now looking on to Rampant Decay, one of our players that we've seen some relative success for, and you can see he's got a nice little key right there that is going to take him to one of the bunkers that we have, one of the secret little, there's throughout the map, there's all these little ways that you can open up these gates, these doors, these locked paths. And some of them, like, you have to find, like, a rubber ducky. Some of them you have to let out, like, John Wick's dog. It's really cute.
I like it. That's actually,
You know
I mean, it used to just be cards. Well, sorry, go ahead.
No. But, like, you know, Fortnite's always looking for a way for these, like, you know, mid-game entertainment things. And they've always been trying to have it be where they're, like, fighting players or having players fight each other. So I think they've kind of added all these little vaults throughout the map to kind of have players go towards them and engage and interact and have these kind of mid-game fights. But they've added a kind of cute element to it. So I appreciate that.
Oh, I like it too. My days, it was just a safe that opened up slowly, and people camped behind the door, and that was fun to watch. Nowadays, it's I think so much better. There's so many littered all the way around the map. Best thing too about what we're watching right now in terms of, you know, how things have changed. Things are changing inside this tournament as well. KMR was in second place overall coming into the competition, already eliminated off spawn, one of the first 6 elims that have happened so far. So yeah, we found out where half the lobbies landed, but the rest of them are landing back into the battle bus again.
All right, I am enough aware that there's going to be 2 players near each other. They're in engaged, and it looks like he's going to try and go for the third party. Gets a good shot onto Sound, but Sound able to ricochet away and actually find a little bit of protection as well. I am enough. Looks like he's not fully interested in engaging in this third party, but as the aggression from the 2 players does engage, he's going to actually be shifting his focus onto the vending machines.
I believe on his mini-map that's a bounty as well, and a different player that might be around him, so might not be able to complete it, but at least knows if there's someone close. We'll get W keyed. But Yana, not just a mountain climber, but also a box fighter, looking really solid in these engagements.
And on to Karama. Congratulations, Vediana. Yes, he might have 200 ping, but you should still feel good about that one. Clearing out the battle woods, and it actually looks like there is far less players dropping over here than I initially thought, but as the zones do close, we could probably imagine a few more players making their way over here just to grab some more farming opportunities. But Vediana looks like he's just going to go for more aggression. June on the other side of this wall, and I'm wondering, is he aware that Mateus is on the other side?
Understands there's some level of trouble happening right now, and he's shot to the position where you can't even mind the walls here. I mean, the best possible thing is to maybe just go up, but he's concerned there might be somebody all the way on the top floor, so we'll lock it down for now. A funny battle going on there. Meanwhile, inside the storm, top left side of the map now, Timus up against Exotic.
Yeah, far Lifty Lodge, POI. It looks like they're fighting in the far corners. I can't imagine there being much loot to fight over here, but maybe Timus is just going on the aggression and hoping that the players stuck behind of Exotics is a player struggling right now, but we've seen Exotics before. We know that he can handle himself, so Timus does have a little bit more fighting to get through, but with the medkit to his name, he's going to at least be able to stay in this storm and fight with full HP, but for right now, these players just kind of positioning themselves. No one really going on the aggressive just yet, which is probably best for both players as their white heals do go down.
There's going to be a lot of damage traded back and forth, so it might be good to keep fighting here just to be able to have at least some level of surge going on, but Timu says there's a lot at stake when we fight. Position is going to dwindle away. I need my mat still. I just have a little bit of metal. Who's going to move first? Other guy up top, yeah, is going to go right back Exotic to farming up the rest of that peninsula. Are you a zone farmer, or like if you're playing Kelly, are you more of a fighter slash mid zone player?
What? Mid zone, definitely.
Yeah, you don't risk the zone farming.
No, I honestly, actually, anytime I go into a game now, I drop immediately and just try and get into as many fights as I possibly can, because I feel like I'm never going to get better as a fighter unless I fight as many people as possible.
I like
So with that being said,
racing.
I usually don't make it past like zone 3, but if I do, I almost always have like 10 plus eliminations.
Okay.
Against bots, 100%.
No, against pros, against pros. That's what you were telling me. You could box at any pro any day and win.
Is that?
$1,000 per box win on the line. 100%.
I did. I feel like I remember saying that. I do remember that.
Yeah. Oh, you'd be locked in. I would believe in Kelly.
Well,
Just like I
hopefully we
believe
play Cam Slam.
Okay, yeah. Who are you taking in this one? Cam Slam or Dorito?
Oh, well, Dorito has the mythic boots, so I believe in him. Come on, 1v2, then you can 1v1 Dorito. I believe in you, although I like Cam Slam, but he's got the boots, and that is all that I have asked for, and not only the boots as well, but he's got the legendary shotgun. He's also got a chug jump, but refuses to use it. Dorito, he is trying to ego you right now. Cam Slam, run away. Look at him. He's got one shot. Cam Slam down now, and now Dorito decides to go for the heals instead of the aggression. I'm so confused. The mind games that's being played right now, Shayo.
Yeah, I mean, he got the damage down. He's gonna be happy about it. You're saying he has the better, loot. He's got the boots. He's got the damage. He also has better ping, I feel like, right now. He hasn't lost this wall once in, like, 7 tries. He's sliding right in. Cam Slam. He steals the ramp again. I mean, this is crazy. Cam, though, with the pred on the right, has the edit. No way.
Wow.
Chase, though, by Sky Jump. Edit from the top, missed shot. Gonna change everything there for Cam Slam. He gets back in. He owns every single wall. You're not trapped in here with me. I'm here, and I control you, says Cam Slam. Back up top, down back below. The escape from Sky Jump. It's a crazy, super exciting type fight. He goes right back in, peppering down, tastes some white health, understands that he's in the lead. Cam Slam has to control this ramp once again. It's one edit, one shot that changes the fight. He misses it again. Has that final edit to go for. It's a window. Misses one more time. Double edit. Okay, there's no way. Cam Slam. Sky Jump also running out of ammo inside the actual shotgun itself and wants to go for a bit of semblance of piece control. Cam, I think, earns it again. Oh my god, it's genuinely a peace battle back and forth. The center of the box now is controlled by Sky Jump once more, and I think Cam just dipped in to get a little bit of that loot and then finally back out.
Yeah, that was the weirdest engagement where somehow both players came out on top for that. Cam Slam and Sky Jump able to third party, both end up getting some loot from that downed player, and now Cam Slam back up to full health. Obviously, not in the exact position you'd want to be in, and he does look like he is going to get some damage, and it's from Curve right now. Once you get Sky Jump on you, you would expect that all the top players are done, but no, Curve is now right on top of you, and you can see that quiet, calm demeanor that Cam Slam had before has now changed to drastic and desperate. He's trying to run away. He knows that this player he's going up against is really good, and he just does not have the loot right now. The loadout, the heals, the opportunity to enter this engagement, and Curve does get the elimination onto Cam Slam. Sky Jump looking back like, hey, that was my elim.
Yeah, I guess that's how you do it. Curve kind of showing him how to chase an elimination down. I like the fact that he kind of forces him into space where he doesn't have any pieces that he controls. And then, of course, Curve coming in, the aura, I feel like Cam could feel it. It's a bit different from Sky Jump overall. I'm liking this rotation, though, and the damage put down. Again, at 50 tag, it'll matter. It'll add up. And he gets another one almost over here. Unfortunately, nothing onto Vin. A much more dynamic game. I'm liking the way we're observing this one. We're seeing a lot of the context of what it means to survive inside a mid-game with 75 people alive.
Yeah, Sky still with like full mats, full like great loadout. He's just taking these quick tags. He's aware that like, hey, it's not really about the eliminations for me right now. We saw that we had some players top 10 with 0 eliminations. I just need to make it to the end game. And Sky Jump is doing an incredible job right now from early and now into this this mid game rotation. He is playing this so smart, which of course it's Sky Jump. We can expect that from him.
Yeah, really good strat here as well from Sky. Knowing there's people behind him, instead of staying right at the white line, pushes in slightly, just a little bit more, past some type of natural cover you can kind of moat around. Sometimes it's a mountain, sometimes it's a literal river you can turn into a moat. He knows there's at least 4 or 5 players coming behind him that'll stay on that white line. He uses them now as protection overall. Speaking of someone that kind of is trying to go through lots of builds and ruin the protection some of these players have over themselves, Glow, still so active, Second fight against June right here. Just want to try to break into some of these boxes, but I'm liking the proactivity. Peeking over your own mats and slamming Glows down.
Oof, great angles coming out of June right here, but a few boxes that separate them now, and that's just going to give Glow an opportunity to heal up. We know that he's only got 8 points, and we're still with 72 other players alive. Glow, you're going to have to stay alive just a little bit longer. Don't engage on June right now. I want to see you make it into the end game and get some of those placement points, but he does not want placement. He wants Elam points right now, and June is his target.
Investing a lot on this one. No wood, no brick left available. Both players have kind of tagged into it, so when it comes to a refresh, you're not going to be able to find any of that extra brick or wood to go back into your inventory. It's going to be a tough one. You've kind of forced June out of all these builds. Yes, you own a little bit of the real estate inside the Battlewood, but it's time to really farm up the mats you don't have. I see half metal as well. It's Glow's turn to get back into this game.
With the zone just 10 seconds away from closing, I gotta hope that this zone isn't going to be pulling north, because it looks like we just have so many players are going to have to bump into each other, climb on top to fight for that zone, and it does go just as north as you can possibly get. And now all of these players are going to have to pretty much pass each other by and just hope that no one takes any shots at them as they rotate over.
Look at the reminder of Surge happening as well. Glow, of course, would be the guy to shoot first. That's part of the MO. You know where we're going, Kelly, actually? I believe this is close to Ian's drop spot. He was landing top right on the map. We're pulling away from Battlewood that is slightly central, if I do understand what's happening for the moment. So if Ian's already in first place, and every time we've seen Battlewood on any map he's in control, this should be the ultimate lock-in for the guy to maybe get another win.
Also, on top of that, we are putting this zone in between two mountains, which just gives that much more of an opportunity for these end zones to rotate over these mountainous peaks. And we know just how those end games do go and just how much people are struggling with builds. People are probably going to get stuck behind some of those mountains. Glow stuck behind damage, but does get a few damage onto a player and actually does get the Elam. Let's go, Glow!
That's huge. Complete refresh of materials all the way around, has movement, and that's the difference. We just tuned into where the zone actually is. June's already found a position in there, and she was right beside Glow this entire time. Glow waits a different way to be able to take a rotation. Veneer as well is trying to find a way inside this box. Cyclops going to be able to deny him, but there's another person living inside these builds as well. 37 HP. A tag will do him down. He has to slow down, get some heals, and get his rotate moving again. Kelly, look at the amount of people not keeping up with the zone.
I'm looking at one number right now, and that is damage threshold. And even with the elimination in the final second, it's still not going to be enough. 61 players, as you're saying, Shio. So many people still alive in that zone, pulling now, whiplashing back from north to south, which just means that so many people are already positioned right in the center, and that is going to give them so many opportunities to get some shots, get some eliminations onto all the lobby that has to make their way into that half and half out.
Yeah, look at what it takes to be in these spots too, Doxy. SMG only, double chug, medkit as well. Has gone through the chug and 2 medkits to be here. I believe traversing through the zone. Everybody's just on the line of it. Now, if this zone ends up bouncing south again, you're going to be seeing lots of refreshes coming in. Even a north push too. There's a possibility of people who've been up there to go back to their builds instead of coming back down. And this should be a very major end game high ground type of zone coming through when so many mats are available if you get to refresh your old builds.
Yeah, I don't know, with it going back closer to Battlewoods, do I want another Battlewood zone, or do I want it going back up to the mountains? It both seems like options just that no one would want to deal with, but unfortunately for our lobby, they are going to have to face it soon. Ian, though, on the low ground, doing a pretty decent job above the storm threshold. It doesn't look like he's too concerned on getting any more damage onto the players, and with it being at 55 right now, he only has a few more players that need to go down before that storm surge is going to be turned off. But everyone slowly making their way through, a few more players making their way out of storm. But it looks like for at least Expo, with just 82 damage above, he's not out of the weeds just yet.
Not yet, but he has a chance to make a name for himself in this game if he ends up playing the cards correctly. Still want to just lock in with Ian. Boxing the Noir saw him struggling a little bit in these last games with pressure. still has translated this into a top 10, at least top 20 performance with 87 points on the board. So many leaderboard top 10 holders, and okay, 250 damage below. We're in some trouble, my friend. It's time to get active and hopefully look for some damage. Everybody's silent. Nobody moving on the server.
I mean, you know, no one's moving. No one wants to make a move. Everyone is aware with the new changes to Storm Surge that they could easily be someone getting a few shots onto them, and that will just be the complete difference for them dealing with Storm Surge. King having an easy job dealing with Storm Surge, but not having an easy job dealing with the rest of the lobby. Now down to just 25 HP, and with a box and a lot of players focusing on him, it looks like that's going to potentially be the end of his run. Boxy looking to end Khan's run right now, but with no shields, it's actually going to be his ending.
Yeah. Still, Khan took a big shot on that fight. Has to be able to move around. Fall damage towards the ground. Is going to be able to catch most of the refresh before he moves out. June was under so much pressure from Glow in this game and the last one. Is able to keep him moving passively. Meanwhile, in the feed, I do see Glow picking up another elimination. So his raid with aggression's going on. Meanwhile, on the yin and yang side, the opposite, June, the passivity is also raining some boons.
Oh, but not a boon. This is a bane right now for Styptic. 97 damage below. He's going to have to get some spraying and praying done. And he's got the boots, so opportunities for mobility. But with you only having 12 HP, you know that that's not going to be enough to position yourself into a good place to get some damage. Styptic, you only have a few seconds left. That lightning is going to be striking, and you're going to have to make some moves if you want to stay into game number 3. Dart is right in front of you, but unfortunately he's going to breathe breaking builds, but not going to be able to get an elimination.
Yeah, that's Vediana that picks it up. Really good for them. Going to be in a position where that leaderboard spot holds even more fruit, and yeah, it'll be June going down. FNG will be able to take things from here, using the zipline to break off a few of these builds, find the space to keep moving forward.
Official, not looking forward, but looking back of the end zone. He does not want to be in the front. In fact, he's going to allow everyone else to run in front of him, and actually taking a great opportunity to grab a few tags onto players staying in the back of zone, but a few other players taking a few shots onto him as well. He's only got 7 builds left to go, so sticking to this low ground is going to be really risky if there's just one player behind you watching you sneak around like we see him doing. But Glow also sneaking around, but on the mid ground right now with a great loadout. This might be his game to win. Doesn't look like he has the mats for high ground, but sticking to this kind of second height might just be where he needs to. All the way to the front Glow goes.
Yeah, not sure if that's the plan. And for Expo, what a shot. Going to be able to just hold things down for now, get a big refresh that's going to be used to be able to work with. Getting his box invaded, though, has to go all the way out. Trying to use the sliders, but the crouch doesn't work. Chaos for Expo. Seems to be a bit inexperienced, maybe with the panic builds, but the sliders are the focus. And the game plan will be rough to keep it going. I need to tune in with the Ian. I want to see what the lobby leader so far has to say in controlling this game. Low ground, such a problem. As Kelly, you mentioned the 2 mountains. We're about to skill one of them.
Oof, it's going to be rough if we're looking at Glow right now, who has had a pretty good end game. He is still only down to 30 builds, most of them being wood, so this is going to be a rough mountain to climb for him. Using up some of his heals as some of the players just jump right above Glow, just on that edge of zone. Great job making it all the way through the back, and it looks like Havoc is actually going to be on the high ground right now. Although his builds are dwindling, there's not too many people focusing fighting, and in fact he's actually going to go to the front of zone and grab some early height right here. Great rotation from Havoc to control high ground.
Yeah, there's one person right below him, so you have to be careful. Glow still active, still popping. 4 elims before we're even in the top 20. It's huge, still moving forward, has a bit of a refresh to be able to use. Big seat. Gonna get some few eliminations of his own. I'm enough, makes it towards the top 15 as well. Conart gonna be going down. Glow sees some more builds, but chooses to go for the eliminations instead. Chasing down Expo. That's 5 for the big guy.
Wow, Glow lock it in right now for game number 3. Better late than never. Havoc just spraying down onto mid-ground below, making sure that no one makes the attempt to go on the aggressive to steal height away from him. And with just 2 builds left, he gets the clutch refresh. Just a few more builds will help him hold up high ground, and an opportunity now to heal up as just no one is looking up. But look behind. We got Scare, we got Hype. A lot of opportunities for these players in the back to steal height away, but Scare looks like like he's just going for an early heal off. Not too certain exactly what his plan is, as we still have 7 players alive. Scared! Great elimination onto Kane as Havoc just avoids devastation from him, but more aggression coming from behind and above. Glow still alive though.
Yeah, Havoc looking for it. Glow. No more Mass to be able to get Dax. Caught sleeping as the momentum from Scare just comes absolutely flying forward like a force of a tsunami there, completely washing away the competition. Sky jump, trying to get towards that box. Scare towards the left side, top 3 situation. Glow up top, 6 builds, big chances, going for that drop down. Everyone on white HP. He's got a tank amount of firepower left in the engine. He's going to be going for this one, almost dropped down, playing with patience, keeping it locked in, keeping it secure. Final 1v1, goes towards Sky Jump, baits the mats. He's a genius, he's aggressive, and Glow owns the game.
What a glow up we just saw from Glow right there. Game 1, not that great. Game 2, forget it. But game number 3, he started up strong right from the beginning, getting that early aggression into the game, and then taking that into these great rotations, making sure that the rest of the lobby on the low and mid ground, you can relax, you can rest on your laurels. No, because he was there ready, waiting, and gets the victory royale.
He's W keyed from birth, I'm hearing from the doctors that help him, come to Earth. I mean, this guy is honestly out of the planet, I feel like, in the way he's playing the game. Nobody else is playing like Glow right now. I think every time we watched him, he's looking at somebody. Look at this elimination that kind of started it all. He was down bad on Mats, down bad on Surge. He gets this full refresh, and from the backside of zone, the latest player to move in, he's bullying people the whole time through inside the circle, Kelly. This level of play, it should not be allowed.
I mean, sometimes that's all it takes, right? It's that moment of clarity where you're being a little bit passive, you're being a little bit shy, and then you get that first elimination, and you're like, oh wait, I'm good, I can do this. And then he just took it from there. He allowed that confidence, that snowballing that we see so frequently in esports, and allowed that to roll. Once again, congratulations on to Glow with the 60 points for your victory royale, and then 21 elimination points. That is actually an 81-point game there. Congratulations once again to Glow.
Yeah, I see I am enough in that top 20 as well. Sky Jump in second place was also trying to hunt for as many eliminations as possible, playing a little bit more smarter towards the end. And then Scare, you mentioned it, Kelly, so far back in the zone, is able to come through in that top 10 and really turn rags to riches towards the end of the game. Overall, though, right now, Ian getting to dip the toes back into a game like that, being able to make it towards the top 20, make it towards the top 30, is solidifying that lead more and more. 20 points ahead of the competition so far. Scared, though, with some consistent games, has finally jumped up, though, suddenly into second place.
And we saw between games 2 and 3 that the separation between first and second place was around 50 points, if I'm not mistaken. So much more opportunity now the rest of the leaderboard to potentially steal away that first place from Ian. But of course, we were not going to be able to figure that out until we get through the last 3 games of the day. Before we get into that, everyone, we are going to be taking a quick break, but don't go anywhere because we have more Fortnite coming your way after this.
PlayStation. PlayStation.
No two competitors are the same. Some run on routine for the chance to win big. Some make time to rise through the brackets. Some lock in with confidence. However you prepare, there's a place for every kind of competitor. PlayStation Tournaments. Sign up today on PS5.
PlayStation.
And we are back, everyone, with game number 4 of Days of Play PlayStation Cup. Half of the competition is done, but now we have a thrilling conclusion to figure out who is going to be our crowned champion.
Okay, Glow, you got to be careful here. Still very aggressive. Oh, and the shotgun hits. The siphon's there. Fragger's down. There's so much chaos happening in the Battlewoods, though, and Glow is thriving in it.
Curve getting 1-2 eliminations already in the elimination feed. I can see him starting to warm up, starting to get locked in that last game, but unfortunately he did end up going down, I believe around 15th, but looks like he is definitely gearing up for the rest of the game for game number 4.
Yeah, I feel like when I was in my kitchen and during this break, Kelly, I kind of was reminded of Glow, and I chose to pick up some spring rolls because right now I feel like it's spring for him. There's like a rebirth, a regrowth for his character in the moment, and then he's rolling the lobby. He's just rolling through everybody. So I had to choose that during my break. What did you do during your break?
I made coffee.
Okay, respects. A little bit of food, a little bit of bevy. I feel like, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a
you know,
good combination.
It's 5:30, it's a little late for coffee, but just with how exciting all the competition is, I felt like I had to make my body excited. My brain's here, I'm excited. So I had to wake up my body as well. And it looks like Ian, he's been awake, he's been prepared and ready this whole time. And with the blue POI, he's just going to have even more opportunities going into the mid and late game.
Yep, and Scare as well, second overall. I mean, sneakily, for me, I feel like I didn't really see Scare's name as much, or didn't stand out earlier on. Is this one of the mini games to get an item or something? Hold up, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's Wonky Land. It isn't a new part of the map right now, but it still is relatively similar. And if you're able to get all these targets, it does drop some map from that cannon that you can see right there, and has been a highly contentious POI in the past, although I don't know if it holds the same favor that it used to.
I'm mesmerized though right now. I mean, this is actually crazy. I know it's happened. It's been in the game for a while. I never landed Wonky Land. That's just the thing, you know. So I never knew about this. I mean, that is so worth and absolutely lit. I love it. There's probably people that haven't seen it either. You can go again.
That's true.
That's crazy.
No. Yeah, you can keep going. But like I was saying, that it definitely seems like Fortnite is like, oh, we need to have just like small little interactions, small little things for players to do.
Yeah.
Well, they're just kind of waiting for the early and mid game to be done.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm loving it. That back in. This is another one of the vaults. Not as exciting, honestly. I'm going to give that one a 1 out of 10.
Well, we don't know
Land.
how he accessed it. I'm not certain. I'm sure there might be someone that knows better than I do in chat.
Oh, okay.
But it might have been one of the fun, like, there's like different ways that you have to access the vault. Sometimes it's just a key, but sometimes it's like something that you have to find throughout the map. So maybe it was one of the more clever ones as well.
4 out of 10, then I'll upgrade it. Chilling on that one. All this ice cream, how much metal is this? It's quite a bit, actually. This POI, given so many benefits. Everyone we see landing around it. The Calamari Canyon. We have blue POI this time. Lots of good chests around. Faster we've seen have some success. Boxing Noir used to be top 10, and the last one did go down a little bit earlier before a lot of that big placement was given out, and so he's going to try to come back into the post the podium spots. Chasor has to be careful. Benny, or just 2 people around him for the moment. There's a care package coming in, an airdrop on the right side. Give you so many good things to be able to work with, and it might attract more people to this spot.
Definitely looks like all eyes in the area are pointing towards that care package, and one player's already found themselves over it, but will they be able to claim all of the loot before anyone else is able to encroach into their territory? We can see just from afar that it does look like the 2 other players are interested, but Chasher, he doesn't care. He's like, oh good, they're going to be distracted. More opportunity for me to get some metal here, but Cam Slam, one of our top competitors from the earlier game, is looking a little low right now, and it's Sinister Strip, definitely one of the more popular POIs, smack dab in the center. He definitely is not going to want to lose this prime positioning by going down early.
Now you have to be very careful.
Oh, well there we go. You see the little, there's like a dog that's trapped in Icon on Sinister Strip. That's one of the little things I was talking about. You have to go save John Wick's dog to be able to access. I don't know if it's a vault, but if you pet him, he heals you fully.
Really?
How adorable is that?
I'm loving this game. Every second I watch it. This is too cool. Way too cool. It's unfortunate.
Oh, and then
that
of
these-
course the Las Vegas Sphere, or whatever they call it, the diamond or whatever, you know, taken over by Voyager. So
Yeah.
I love these little, yeah, just little things.
Axon also putting some pressure down. I'm loving that. Yeah, we haven't really got the perspective from Sinister's trip really. It's been kind of more so the mid game stuff we've been watching, or the mid map stuff, closer to Battlewoods towards the north.
Yeah.
But every time we're pulling down, things are getting crazy on this side of the map too. There's still lots of congestion.
Yeah, Sinister definitely seems to be one of the more popular POIs, not just because it's in the center, but you got the vault, you got lots of metal, lots of opportunity there for Sinister. But Rex right now is just looking for an opportunity to take out Ian, one of our top competitors, and actually, in fact, the top competitor. If he goes down right now, that'll give some opportunities to scare enough and everyone else in our top 10 leaderboard to potentially steal away that first place spot. But Ian looks like they're going to be relatively safe, as those pistol shots just don't do that much damage for Rex.
Cleave him up a little bit, but I'm liking this positioning from Rex overall. Instead of chasing and following the inside line of where Ian's going, Ian very creatively actually cuts across it, but Rex can hear him with that overall audio visualizer. He's still trying to stay towards the middle, cut him off, maybe for that free surge. Finally, distracted by a chest. Should be too far for him to have an influence on Ian's position now. Might see the second player in the distance as well. He does see him towards the left. Ian, though, is able to put some pressure back down, actually build towards it. He's tired of this. And Rex is panicking with these builds.
Rex, you kept poking the bear. Eventually the bear's gonna fight back, and you are now going to be out. You knew that that was a possibility. You could tell that Rex wanted to play that safely, and Ian was just waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity for Rex to just get a little too confident, and he takes advantage of it. Great plays from Ian there.
He could have done that at any time. He was letting Rex live. But as you said, Kelly, that last shot towards the back is the final straw. I can respect the chasing in the first part. But you gotta let the goat pass by afterwards. 71 alive, and we can see the biggest change right now are people kind of switching up their openings towards all their POIs and their drop spots. The zone is slightly different now. A lot of it in the past have been north poles, but this one's getting a little bit more southern. So all these players at the top side of the map, Scare, Ian, even these lower players like Rex, who might be, you know, not top 10 but top 20, they don't have a calm loop path this time. They have to be able to climb with the zone. Meanwhile, all these players more towards the south who've had to move earlier get to stay inside the strip. They get to stay in their POIs and farm all the way up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We actually haven't even really seen the southern side of this map, like even just in the early game that much recently. So Sunken Shores, Heatwave Harbor, Cluster Coast have kind of just been off the radar right now, but someone that's been on my radar, Curve, has been performing better and better as the games go on. So I would love to see an in-game, a top 3 coming out of Curve right now, but Dax might be just the wrench in that play. Does go onto Curve, but it looks like he's going to allow Curve to farm. No harm, no foul. Doesn't look like there's any risk right here.
For now.
For now.
He's trying for that trap play, but I don't think it's going to work. Something we haven't seen just yet. Now, Sanctuary is not going to be in. The zone's a little bit more towards the left side overall. We know that if it is still central, low ground towards the end of this game will be a bit tougher, and Surge will be so much harder to find. So fighting right now, I actually don't mind it from a lot of these players.
Yeah.
I need to see a little bit of an Ian cosplay from Rax, though. Having 8 shockwaves, I think you have to be using at least some of these right now to fight.
It looks like he's just waiting. He knows that there's going to be a few players right near him. He's waiting for them to engage, an opportunity potentially to third party right here against Reciprocal and Checkster, but he's low on HP. He's not going to be able to kind of engage this fight in the 50-50, and it looks like with it being a box fight, he's not actually going to get any good angles, so just wasting time, wasting heals by potentially third partying and then not getting that chance. You got to feel a little rough for Rax now going on the aggressive. Reciprocal responding pretty well, though. Great shots coming out of him, and it looks like he is going to continue to engage onto Rax. But is Reciprocal going to be able to turn this into elimination?
I'm liking the angle switches. I'm liking the approach from Reciprocal. Not gonna find much. Lots of expensive costs though for this rebuild, for this move away from the side of Rax. He's bleeding materials right now. You can notice Reciprocal is not doing that whatsoever. He's just built one floor, one pyramid this entire time, maybe a ramp or two. Reciprocal, box after box after box. He is burning through his defensive repertoire here right now. Back down towards the basement. This is where fights are so much safer to take two, but Reciprocal wants to make sure that nobody's going to be able to break in from one of the backsides. Go back up, still go for a little bit of power and control. Has been staying inside the storm too long too. Why is he coming back here? Has some shields. This is where the jump pad is as well, where he can get way far back into the zone. So he'll just move all the way away.
Honestly, I don't mind that. That was an unfortunate use of a lot of his builds down to 75, but with this long rotation and 2 medkits to his name, I think he's going to have an opportunity to just farm up just a little bit before he gets back into zone. There are a few players in his way, though, so Reciprocal is going to have to watch out for that, but for right now, I don't think he's in too much of dire straits. Kanji, same position right now. Decent loadout. All right, Matt, although using up more of them to protect himself on the edge of zone right here. With it being just zone 4, you definitely do not want to be using up this much material already.
Yeah, here this early means that hopefully we're going to be able to find that material to come right back with it. A little bit of brick, but yeah, things not looking the super best. We have to find some place to at least get the wood all the way up, but I assume that metal might be the thing that's missing the most on Kanji's inventory. Zone moves once again. We're getting a little bit more central with it feels like. Very similar to that very first game zone.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if we do get a sinister strip, especially with the elevation to the, there's like an underground area to it, and we know that that can just throw so much chaos into the low and mid ground, but Ian right now looking to throw some chaos as he is already in the center of zone, smack dab with a great opportunity to just get any eliminations onto any of the other players around him. A lot of the players congested near him, so that'll just give him the distraction that he needs to get some more early aggression. But Scare looking to just stay alive right now, heal himself up as he makes his way into the edge of zone, but that is pretty congested over in Sinister Strip. It looks like that is the position he's going to be sitting himself into. And with it being 140 damage below that he has to deal with, he's going to have to make some moves onto some of these other players near him if he wants to stay in the game.
Yeah, I have to take some risks. This is crazy, though. How is anybody allowing this sneaky plan towards the backside? He's moving through full metal builds. No one's seen him. No one's looking at him. And straight to the front door of this establishment.
Wow.
Scare. Oh, he's trying to take over one of the floors. It's a big surprise, but he misses the shots. And now Dax is like, how is this happening? No floors to defend, no ramps. It's kind of slow. It feels like Scare is the faster builder here and should be able to make quick work of this one if he doesn't make too many mistakes.
And by playing it sneaky at the start, he just has so much more build, so many more mats to play with and enter in this fight with Dax. But Dax is like pretty smart. He's playing the angles right, and it looks like he's potentially going to be able to get away, but Scare is not giving up just yet. But as the time does go down, we see that the zone is going to be pulling far west, and that means that Scare is going to have to make some moves, but with still being below damage threshold, he doesn't want to give it up just yet. Reciprocal just out of his line of sight. He misses the shot. Lightning raining down on him now, but Scare trying to rain down some pistol shots. 46 damage now below. He just needs 1 or 2 more shots. We're going to go for the top off to make him sure that if he does enter an engagement, he's going to be on the better side of that.
He's trying to look for shots over here, but I feel like just going down and fighting the player that you saw was unconfident. It's the right way to play this one. Another player sneaking up right behind him, though. Should be kind of trouble. Scare out of blues now. Just has 2 mech kits left. This is going to be so tough. For the top 10 on the sides as well. He's going to be able to get some pot shots on the curve, but the whole lobby right now, moving and bunkering and basing has been a problem. You're not going to get any damage onto your player, onto your profile, and suddenly Kanji, who had such good positions, such good rotations, because of the lack of damage, is not thriving at all. He is suffering in this position.
He does still have 2 med kits, and only a few more players need to go down, so Kanji can just wait this out, potentially play this Storm Surge passively. However, as I say that, he is going more and more down the storm damage threshold, and eventually that is going to turn around and bite him in the butt. He can't just wait it out. He has to make a play right now. Kanji looking for just any angle on any players, and if you look at that mini-map, it looks like there's just 1,000 players around him, but no one really exposing themselves, no one giving him an opportunity to get the shot on. He doesn't even need the boots. Well, maybe he needs the boots, but he's going to hold on to them for right now and just hope that this is going to be a chance for him to get one more tick, two more, actually a few shots of damage so that he can stay above damage threshold.
Yeah, and he wants to stay above so badly. Look at the position he's pulled. With so many people alive with the zone this big, he has ultimate circle for the moment, ultimate position. He has pulled the zone, but unfortunately, because of Surge, he might not be able to live long enough to actually play this game out, which would be so unfortunate. 60 on this wall. Not a joker to be messed with. This guy's really good on the box fight. Understands that. Feel like Kanji's low on that Surge, very desperate. Does not want to trade with him. 2 more ticks about to go down. And Kanji is gone. That might be Clixy getting a full refresh in just a second. Cade still alive as well. Inside that top 20. Still rocking it down. And Conart, I think that is the 10th place player overall in the lobby for the moment. He's going to be good above Surge. Almost at the circle. And if his game starts to rise up again, that top 10 is going to shake up one more time.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of our, like you're saying, our top 10 players right now in the elimination field, one by one. Oh, right into his box. Conart not able to capitalize it, though. Kurama able to just run away. I would imagine that he had the impulse boost, so he was able to just make quick work out of running out of that box. But Khan also running to the front side of zone, sticking to mid-ground right now, and it looks like he's going to have some issues with players just shooting down, spraying his box, and with being 10 damage below Storm Surge, he is going to have to return fire onto some other players right now. But just a chance, an opportunity to farm up. I do like that coming out of Khan right now. And Day, another one of our veteran players, also having issues with storm damage, but also having issues with players in his box.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. Cyclops is there, strengthening the lead that he already has on most of the lobby. Biggest thing for the moment, the next 3 games that we're playing right now, match 4s, 5s, and 6. If your first 3 games did not go well, this is where you can turn it around. Try a different strat, try a nice 3-game plan. Khan been sticking to the old. Rampant also has been trying to place consistently as we move across. That being set up in a new territory all over towards the north side. Things will be slightly more dangerous here. We're moving back on some older builds. Unfortunately for Aloe, that first shot, a swing and a miss.
Man, I hate to feel biased, but that could have been a disastrous situation for Ian there, and able to get away from Aloe just in time. And it looks like Aloe's not done just yet, looking for some easy tags onto the players in the back side of zone, hoping that someone just rotates their way in front of him so he can get a quick shotgun shot onto them, but just not getting any angles. And in fact, it looks like no one's staying on the edge of zone, but good little height gain right here as he rotates on the eastern side of it. And looks like he's going to keep rotating, sticking to the mid-ground, and seems pretty comfortable right here.
Yeah, he's playing like a pro right now. Being very frugal with materials, only using a floor ramp when needed, and then double box brick, looking so good. Ian chasing down these eliminations, aggro style. Can almost find one, but needs a refresh at some point. Now there's the slide to the other side. It's gonna cost him a lot of HP, but that's what the chunk's for. Shields are all in now. Ian, beautiful rotation. How do you refresh this now?
I need to stop asking for the slides. I feel like there's never any goods out of it. It just exposes you so much, and it does give you a little bit of mobility, but when everyone is moving, everyone's also looking, and unfortunately a lot of eyes are on Ian. He's only got 14 builds, so he's sticking to the low ground, but some aggression coming out means that he's going to have to waste even more than he's running away right now with just 46 HP and no heals. This might be a disastrous situation for him in game number 4. Rampant decay with 4 eliminations, but Ian's actually still alive and gets the elimination, gets the refresh, which he desperately needs, and also has the chug jug right now. It does look like he wasn't able to get too much more material, but as I say that, actually he has 51 builds now, Shio.
Yeah, can really work with it. Second chug jug in tow. He's got so much HP. You've got to heal for a second though. And the zone actually is able to eclipse him once more, so he gets so much time to breathe. He was ahead by 20 points so far to second place, eclipsing the rest of the lobby, putting them down. The sunset. He has time, but he's sick from the storm. That zone pulling away from home sends him back to the lobby.
I mean, great play, great effort for Ian, and that just means that the rest of our top 10 now has an opportunity, a chance to climb up the leaderboard, steal away that first place spot because the crown looks good right now, Shio, and Rampant has his eyes on it.
Looking for it, wants to stay consistent with it. For elimination so far, Cam Sam also getting active. We're kind of moving up the ranks to the top 20. Rampant consistent so far, but consistency just puts you closer to, as Kelly said, grabbing that crown. Speaking of being on top of that throne, on top of the lobby, Cam Slam able to connect these bills with metal. And almost getting a few eliminations. The SMG. And we're going to drop off all the way through. Rampant Decay taking matters into his own hands. I guess one of those eliminations for himself.
Man, before we saw his HP decaying, but right now it's the rest of the lobby that just decays as he rampantly runs through the mid ground. But Cam Slam looking to take some more eliminations from the high ground. 7 already to his name. That's 21 points just for the eliminations. And we know by sticking to the high ground, he's looking for that victory royale as well. Just 12 players alive right now. Rampant Decay now just taking this last 10 HP that he can from the Chug Jug. And now it's all just a hope, an opportunity for a refresh, an elimination that can save his life. And it looks like it's going to be going on to Glow. Unfortunately, not able to get the final elimination, the final shot onto him. But Glow's just right below him. He might able to make this turnaround, and he does get the elimination onto Glow and some more heals.
They ignore the heals for now. Just wants to get inside the zone. 20 HP for the Chug, a 50 pot after that. So many people around him. He's very unfamiliar with these boxes, so has no ideas where players could be. Has no ideas what's his. Cam, though, putting pressure down on every person down below. 7 eliminations so far. Meki to be able to use. I've seen him inside the zone for a long time, though, so don't want that sickness to hit for the moment. HP dwindling for some of our mid-ground players. Expo finds another. No builds now left for Cam. Ooh, and he gets the big refresh.
Great play from Cam Slam right there, and he does get the refresh. 37 more builds now, allowing him to hold on to the high ground for just a little bit longer. But honestly, it didn't look like anyone was really trying to challenge him. The curve might be the challenge that this lobby needs. Cam Slam just being allowed to control the high ground with no one really fighting it. But if you are allowing Curve to get eliminations on the low ground, that means you're also allowing him to get refreshes, allowing him to just bide his time before you have to face him in a 1v1. But there's obviously other players onto the low ground. It's not a 1v1 just yet. Rooksy looking to take on Curve, but Curve with a great shot gets another elimination. Cam with now 9, but does go down to Cyclops, and now it's down to a 1v1. Cyclops versus Curve, and actually there's another player alive in the lobby, potentially going for a heal up. Cyclops, where is he?
All the way up top is Expo, who comes in with a surprise win. A war on 2 fronts. Cam tries to combine both sides of warfare. Expo says, I'm still active on this one. I'm healing up, and you're losing the game.
I honestly thought I was going to predict the winner a dozen times in that in-game, and it just seemed like everyone was the main character. So many people being able to pull out some incredible clutches, also just controlling the high ground, but also the low ground eliminations. That was my favorite game so far. Big thank yous to everyone, but obviously with that victory royale and a ton of elimination points, we can only imagine that our leaderboard is going to be shaken up even more, Shio.
So shaken up. I feel like, Ian was already in that lobby, got like about 20 points. The placement was already 20 points ahead, but so many players in this one were just rocking eliminations back to back to back. You said we didn't see the number 6 or 7 many times in the last leaderboard. I saw it a bunch of times in that game, swapping from player to player to player. That being said, that's just the first place spot. That top 10, the rest of it was neck and neck, shoulder to shoulder the entire time. I feel like now it's going to be completely replaced with new names like Expo who've won a game.
Oof, it'll be exciting to see. I mean, just to see who got the most points out of that game, because we definitely saw some high elimination players in that game. I know Cam Slam was definitely one in being able to hold the high ground. Although he didn't win, I can imagine that we're going to see his name shoot up the leaderboard as well. But yeah, we did see Ian go down, I say kind of early, not too early, but still an opportunity, a chance for the rest of our leaderboard to jump up. But man, 2 more games to go, Shia. What are you hoping to see?
I want different zones, honestly. I think this mountain has been in the way for a lot of players so far. I think we've seen people fizzle out towards the end. I want to see this zone get pulled bottom right side, bottom left. I've seen the top a little bit, the middle. I want to see names like the Tech taking over a little bit, 16th place. I like to see Expo do this again. I mean, he was kind of in Patek and Josh Pantel's position. Now, all the way up in that first place spot in terms of just the match in general. It's amazing. The 60 placement points, 5 elims. You talked about the difference in that elim spot though, Kelly. 75 for the win. Cam with 9, 74 in second.
Wow. Yeah, it just goes to show that although you might not get the win, to be able to get that many eliminations will still hold you up strong. I'm not too certain where they were before that game, but hopefully with that success, we'll see them at least in our top 20 for the overall results. And still holding strong in first place, Ian is there, but there is still a distance that has to go between first and second. But Rampant Decay actually jumping up and taking second place now.
Yeah, Rampant's been very active. I think 10th, 5th, staying inside at least, having a conversation with the eliminations from game to game to game. But now winning, it seems like being, with that VR will put you in the conversation. Being active inside it and, being a player without the VR though, and, a lot of elims might not be enough overall. We've got I Am Enough who's in the business and so is that other board. Ian who's owning it, Glow who's still there, Expo as well. Some of these other names need 2 games now as everybody's been so consistent, Kelly, trying to get a portion of that cash prize.
I will say Enough started off really strong, and then we've seen him kind of struggle a little bit. Did make it to another end game, but I would like to see Enough pull out, not necessarily a win, but I'd love to see some good games from him. I think that there's like a lot of possibility there, but when you start off strong and then you have a rough game, you got to wonder about the thermals. And for me, when I think about mentals, I'm thinking about the reverse of the situation where Curve kind of started off a little slow there and then ended that last game off in 3rd place. And even with a couple of rough games, he's in 4th place. He barely got any eliminations in his first 3 games, but it just goes to show making it consistently into the end game and just grabbing a few can be enough to get you into the top 5.
Absolutely. It's about just like if the opportunity's there, you have to clasp on it. I feel like some of these players have had that opportunity multiple times shown to them, but don't want to take the risk for the fight. Don't want to take the risk to get those pocket 4 or 5 group of eliminations. That being said, that's not the only way to play. In that last game or the one right before this one, the passive gameplay is starting to hold true a little bit over some of the top elimination holders as well. If you're consistently just making it towards that top 20, towards that top 10, and have the one game where there's 3 or 4 eliminations, you're in the money right now. You're doing really good.
Yeah, no, I mean, we still have 2 more games to go, and we've seen close to 100-point games. Actually, we might have gotten a 100-point game, or no, it was close to a 100-point game.
Close.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it can shift. This leaderboard can definitely change, and with it being the final 2 games, I would imagine some more drastic measures is going to be taken, Shayo. Maybe that's going to be in the form of early aggression. Maybe it will be in the form of height steals. I still feel like high ground has been a little free for the people that are able to control it early on.
Yeah, there's lots of pressure to try to climb all the way towards the top. Get high ground, you kind of have to be playing like the first place player in the lobby. That being said, I want to remind people of the prize pool right now, right? First place, yeah, the 3,500, and it kind of goes downwards all the way, to 10th, kind of incrementally. If you're in 100th right now, you just have to get to 75th place and you double your money. You go from $50 to $100. If you want 50 more, get to 50th place. It's not just about getting towards the top 10. In this match 5, if you just want to literally quadruple the amount of money you're making, win the game. It's that simple. The big money is for the big players right now who are getting really consistent. You can still have a voice and get away with even more prizes for the moment if you play this game well. Expo can keep hanging out with the big names. Other people like Asco starting off right now with the first elimination of the entire game. This is a chance to start to use that, boon, start to use that elimination to really climb up in the ranks.
Yeah, Expo definitely looking to have another successful game if he wants to make sure that those ranks do keep climbing for him. Currently sitting at 128 points, which looks like there's a lot of players actually currently sitting around that. Gonna need to earn just a little bit more though, like you're saying, wanting to make it up into the thousands of dollars for this prize pool. But speaking of thousands of dollars, it's not just the prize pool that we see right here, the $22,000 that's being given up for this tournament. We also have 0 builds going on. We have other regions. In fact, it is a massive $200,000 prize pool going on. And PlayStation puts on these events all the time. If you guys want to be a part of the next one, follow PlayStation on social media, follow on the PlayStation console, because all of their events on there happen so frequently and just give so many opportunities for new and old names alike to earn some money, maybe buy some V-Bucks, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just, Fortnite, but other games as well. State of Play is happening right now. Kelly's mentioned it a lot as well. I have been dabbling in. It's not just the tournaments, but if you want to check it out, very last day. Got some cool stuff for Fortnite too. If you want to, be involved in this stuff too, there's a sweepstakes you can enter by checking things out, and that'll put you in contention for getting a little bit of a gift card, getting a chance for that has the PlayStation Store credit, and at the same time controllers. So many things that are up for grabs. So make sure you check it out. Again, if you have been checking things out since the very start of these PlayStation Cups, you've been having a good time. Kelly, these tournaments are sweaty. These tournaments are fun to watch. They make these players so much better month to month to month.
No, I know it's such a great opportunity, and for me, I always, listen, I think when it comes to competitions, that especially for our top competitors that are competing in the FNCS, any competition is a great learning experience. So to see some big names that we literally saw compete in a LAN, competing here, getting that experience, even just a little bit of practice, can just make a huge change into some of our bigger tournaments. So that's what I love to see. I love to see just any opportunity you can get to practice, to play, to train. You should take that opportunity.
These players will have an even better chance because of that practice that Kelly's mentioning to have an amazing year in the season, or I guess a few months of the season. I mentioned Asku earlier as well, having a better game. Sky has taken him out, so unfortunately that'll be a harder thing for him to do from the lobby. All good. Specs, 143 points. Haven't seen too much of this guy on our POVs, presumably, but he has been popping off so far. 143 points.
Yeah, not too bad, especially when you look at his loadout right now with 2 legendary items. You can imagine that might be part of the key to his success. But for right now, it doesn't look like there's too many other players around him. You have to hope that is due to the fear of Sneeryu, so he was able to get a few tags and chase him away. But if he's landing there by himself, that might not be the best position to be in once we do get to that mid game, because we've just seen so many players have to deal with Storm Surge. But with us being down to 77 players already, Shayo, I wonder if Storm Surge is going to be less of a concern this game.
Might be a thing for some of these players to start getting more aggressive because of it being some of the last games. And as you ask, yeah, Storm Surge might not be as big of a problem. That being said, we've seen games get sticky later a little bit instead of now. So you have to be careful. First time I'm seeing Glow, by the way, with nobody beside him. So things have definitely changed overall. And a POV to Cluster Coast right now. This is where Doxy's landing. Also, one of the players that have kind of come up since the last lobby inside the top 20. 132 points, rocking it down. Again, just want to see if any of our top point contenders are in trouble in any fights around the map. I do see in these solos, at least, so many people are very comfortable with splitting these POIs, are just starting to learn how these loot drops work.
Wow, Doxy with just so much gold to his name, able to pick up 2 chug jugs right now. And in fact, with the med kit also, he's not going to have to worry too much about healing himself up. Oh, there you go. It was the rubber ducky. Yeah, you have to find, there's multiple locations in the Cluster Coast that has different duckies, but you have to find the one with cool shades. And then you put it in the display case and it opens up the vault for you. It's very silly and inconsequential, but I just am charmed by it.
No, I'm actually signing off on it as well. This vault, rating it, Ducky out of 10. I love it so much.
Doxy also seems to be appreciating it right now because no one seems to be fighting that POI. So free loot for him, and with a lot of other players already down early, he's not going to have to worry too much about Storm Surge. But Specs right now just going to be building himself up a nice little tower, potentially a Surge tower right now, and another opportunity to just get a few more tags because there is a few players around him.
We'll get to relax. Yeah.
Specs setting up for that tower already, but he needs to be careful. Zordal, if he's playing this smart, is aware of what Specs is doing, possibly looting up this Surge tower with a bunch of heals and a bunch of shields, and if Specs plays this and steps away for a second too long, that could be someone else's Surge tower.
I just imagine you have all your heals, shields ready to go, and somebody just steals your tower entirely. Day going down in the feed. Very tragic. If you're living on this map specifically, you're familiar with a few of the POIs. Is it still the last time I asked this, you said you wanted to live kind of near the trees, autumn side. That seems like frosted. Are you still on that, or are you still at Wonky Land?
No. See, I said I wanted to land at Latte Land. No. See, I said I wanted to land at Latte Landing because I'm a big fan of lattes. However,
Okay.
recently I have changed to flat whites. So,
Okay.
no longer a fan of latte landing. You
Okay.
know, I feel like we have this kind of coastal island, sort of like Bahama vibe on the south side of the new map. So I feel like I'm going to move there.
I like it. Get
Yeah.
more vacation with it, you know?
Exactly. Ian himself getting a little bit of a vacation right now, all by himself. That's a little bit of a solo vacation. You ever do that? Have you ever gone on vacation by yourself?
By myself. I mean, I think so. I'm not sure if it counts for work, you know? Like, I mean, my vacation is always tied to, like, you know, the caster is the caster lifestyle's letting me here, and I'm by myself. You know, that's the way.
Okay. Well, yeah, sure.
If that counts, sure. Oh, the one thing that's really funny that I was laughing when I tuned into this POV, Ian, who went down to storm sickness in that mode right before in that game previously, usually rotating in the storm and very late, has like a lot more ammunition. I feel like more shields. This time, so far ahead of the circle, does not want anything to do with the storm. Wants as much time as possible to work that end game.
I like it. I mean, that's what we need to see. We need to see adaptation. We need to see that when something goes wrong, that players are able to identify it and then make those certain changes so that it doesn't happen again. Expo sticking to Storm right now, and it looks like Storm sickness actually might be a concern for him if he does stay here. And that is a long rotation that he is going to have to make. And fortunately for him, it looks like he's going to have some static launch pads over there, so he's going to be able to rotate over. But Ian right now, up, not even really a surge tower. Kind of looks like he's just sticking to the edge of zone and waiting for someone to kind of pop into his vision.
Yeah, we haven't seen this gameplay pattern from Ian just yet. A lot of the times he's behind the circle, is able to come in and not really worry about what's happening behind him at all. He's usually literally just looking at the backs of a lot of people, but this time he has to watch his own back, and it's a very different type of gameplay, staying ahead of the storm rather than riding the storm all the way in. That being said, I was about to say you should be safe, but I see glows moving in. That is somebody you do not want seeing you in like a 1-by-1 of any kind. Brick, metal. His choices are Ian or Harambe, and I don't know what will be sadder if he picks either or.
I was going to answer that, but never mind. We'll let chat speculate. Glow now also up of this little mountain, but unfortunately that is not in zone, so he's going to have to make a move, but slowly waiting to take a few shots onto Harambe, and does do about 90 points of damage, but unfortunately not going to be able to convert that into an elimination. But I don't think Glow's looking for an elimination right now. I think he's looking to just get a few tags onto some players. Vidiana also behind him right now. And it looks like he's going to get another few tags onto him. Actually, no, misses, and Vidiana able to just create a distance, a little separation, and continue rotating into zone.
Scary seeing glows on a mountain where, you have the chance to shockwave to any person's box in your vision, and at the same time also slide down really fast. More people coming in from the storm right behind him. On the right side, Punisher able to get a few pot shots towards his body as well. He's gonna try to get in on this north side where there's not too many people, as long as he avoids whatever factory slash building slash house that is, where the red and yellow arrows are sharing things on the mini map. Glow is gonna be affected again, trying to move all the way up. This is crazy. Game 5 and 6, Kelly, have you ever seen, is this where you feel like the big switches are, or does that happen way earlier? Is there still a chance for people or like kind of lower on the board?
Yeah, definitely. I think for the players lower in the board, they can make some crazy plays and get some eliminations and potentially climb up the leaderboard. But I think for all the players that are already in top 10, they've already made the changes. They've already figured out their strategy. They're probably actually playing it passively now because they want to make sure that they don't out. When you risk it for the eliminations, yeah, the reward is great, but obviously so is the punishment. But if you're just making it for the end game and you just survive, you just kind of have to wait other players out. If you're getting the tags like a lot of our top 10 are, they just need to play the waiting game, and those placement points can just be easily earned compared to the potential risk of going for the eliminations.
All about the patience, but as people get more desperate, it's harder to stay passive. You need to have a little bit of confidence overall. Ian, again, brand new game style approaching this one. I think if you're watching at home, PlayStation Cup, it's going crazy. If you want to know the context of things right now, we're back to the old style. just general prize pool, first place. If everything ends right now, the power disconnects, the earth stops spinning, Ian gets $3,500 with a bunch of other problems because, you know, we need the earth to spin. But
Yeah.
the first place right now is 3,500, second 25. They got 2K, 1.5K, 1K down to fifth, and then it gets lower and lower. But everybody here gets a 50 for playing, which is nice. Dollars, not thousand. Scared. He's trying to catch up to Ian right now. He was second place overall from what we saw before. Things might have changed in that last game, but he's about 60 points behind. I believe the other person is about, what, 30 points behind Ian. I think it was like a 180 point threshold, but Ian's the only person we've seen so far at 200.
Yeah, 100% Scare there, getting a nice opportunity to farm up this brick as he positions himself into zone. And actually looking at Ian before, he had this great 50-50 pull in his favor, so he is currently sitting in the center of zone, which is definitely the position he'd like to be in. Scare closer to the edge and definitely more to where the congested side is going to be, but doesn't seem to be putting a slow down into his plan. Scare still taking a few shots, and Rampant Decay, we saw him going on a tear in the last game, already 140 damage above with one elimination to his name. It looks like this might be another mid and late game for Rampant Decay to really just spray and pray and get some elims to his name. And at 182 points, actually, this might be our second place player. So good start so far. Not the best builds, but this is still early on. There might be some opportunities for refreshes.
Also make sure that you're able to chain your position into elim, into your next position overall. And Rampant Decay has been doing that in almost every single game. Has not really been in that podium as much consistently, but he's been towards the top 10, the top 15, having a voice inside these maps over and over again. As this zone locks in, absolute trouble will be the north side pull. The majority of the lobbies here on the south side, on the bottom, what looks like to be a pokeball of a map right now, split across the center, two different colors up and down. And Kelly, what do I see down there?
I don't even know what you mean.
North side pull. It's the north side pull, and everybody has to move. And Rampant Decay is trying to do his best to get ahead of all the pressure.
Smack dab into a tree though, but he's going to take opportunity to go on to the player next to him, but does look like he's going to be disengaging. No success in that engagement, but looks like he's got a little bit of a mountain to climb, and there's not too many other players. This actually might be a great position for Rampant Decay to put himself into for zone 6, and going to quickly box up, not in zone just yet, but he knows that there is tons of players right behind him, going to be making another rotation, so this can be a great opportunity for him to get a few shots. And Ian himself, with only 80 damage below, is going to have to put himself into a more safe position. He's got to get a few shots, and he knows that this climb up the hill is going to be rough. And as we can see, more players just taking some shots onto him. Ian now down to 91 HP.
Yeah, got to be careful. This mountain, I mean, usually mountains in this game in general, they've got aura. They've got peaks, cliffs, jagged edges, but this one is a bit lumpy. It's huge. It's boulderous. What I'm trying to say is that there's no peak of it. There's no prime position. Everybody's making small communities on all these sides. You're running into really weird boxed up situations, places where usually at this level, Ian has some freedom. He can look down at people. It feels like you're all the way up top, but no, this time he's trapped. Doesn't on his wall, being bullied out. It's really congested up here. It's almost like you're on low ground.
With Ian going down right now, that would be so great for the rest of our top 10. And I'm looking at you right now, Scare, 160 points. You're currently sitting in third after game number 4. So for Ian to go down, that would be a great opportunity for him to be able to climb up. But Cam Slam, another player that we saw have an incredibly great aggressive game early on, also still getting eliminations into the feed. Scare just sticking to the mid ground right now. It doesn't look like he wants to go high or low ground. And considering his loadout, considering his builds, I don't blame him. Right now, he's just got to stay alive. He's got to play it passively, and he doesn't have to worry about Storm Surge, so just by time might be the best play he can make.
I mean, the thing is, though, you bide your time, you might just miss the bus to be able to get off this mountain. The zone is pulling way off the peak. It might still be a bit half in, but I'm not sure how many people are going to be allowed to stay in that community. It is going to be gated away, and Scare gonna move Shockwave to push him all the way forward. Takes a big shotgun cleave to the shoulder, though, limping into what seems to be a safe brick box. He's not gonna be all the way in for now. It seems like he is slightly, yes, just in that safe circle. 40 other players will have to move in behind him. Here's Ian's POV, almost in. on a layer that's sky high, but still, again, so congested by boxes all around. Scare, low HP, pushed out of his box. No more shields, has to go for damage, has to go for some type of refresh now. He's got nothing left in the tank to make it to all the way to the end of the game.
And with that pistol, and it is able to get just a little bit damage, but not enough. And we know that time is being in his favor. This zone is going to close, and that lightning is going to start striking. Still, so many players need to go down for Scare to be in the safe position, and he has no white heals to keep him alive. Shot onto there, but unfortunately, Cube is going to take down Scarian, our #1 player, also down below damage with no heals either, but a great shot coming out of him, but that's not going to be enough. He's going to have to get 1 or 2 more of those today in the game if he wants to keep holding strong to his first place spot, but it looks like that is going to be the end of him, and going down in 42nd place is only going to garner him a few points. This is now an opportunity for everyone else to jump up the leaderboard.
Yeah, seeing if there's any, who else is left fast Scare, who can catch up to 214. Points start to dwindle down just a little bit. If someone random ends up winning again, it'll make it even harder for people to differentiate themselves on the leaderboard inside the next game. Specs, inside their own box too, is able to blast out 38. It seems like every single person who leaves has a layer they can't see, and they take all their HP down to a safe passive spot, invaded in the box, edited down. Specs drops the big god loot, and Arctic is there too to go for trades.
Not sure if Arctic was able to actually turn that into something, but Glow, one of our players that we keep hoping they're able to make it into the end game, and look down to 17 builds left. Glow is looking a little rough right now, but elimination could be all they need to get the refresh, get the mats that they need to keep their run going, to keep their hope alive. Glow, having a rough start of the game, have been slowly clawing their way up the leaderboard, and we know that all they need is the right opportunity to get crazy eliminations, and they can easily be one of our highest earning points for the day.
Yeah, 60 behind for the moment. Actually, maybe 70 points to the win is what Glow needs. And you're saying uncomfortable spot, 80 mats, that's where Glow performs. Doxy, really good at evading pressure. He's able to fall down once again. It's by about 6 seconds of time to get that chug back in. White health up. Cube is popping off right now. Need more eliminations, side by side by side. Doxy to be able to move, save the mats. 55 to be able to use. Not really working for height, but just the space to call home as more placement rocks in. 28 players alive.
Wow, and usually these players are low, and they're like trying to stay away from the action. They do these rotations on the low side of edge, but everyone's actually rotating on the high ground right now, but just because of how much chaos is going on below. So a lot of our high teams able to take an opportunity breather here to really recuperate themselves, but Glow is just walking into danger right now. Great wall there to block off. Unfortunately, not able to turn it into anything. Going to be able to get that elimination onto Glow, but Cube with 4 elimination now looks like they're going to be looking at the mid ground to destroy.
Some positions for the moment. Davix will not be able to survive. Again, we're pulling all the way up towards this mountainside. There's builds now in the way. Old builds from remnant zones, ghosts of the past, blocking off the chance for the living to get points today. Arzen trying to play God right now all the way up top, but he gets usurped for the moment. Gonna be able to build back up, try to get that cult following going, try to get these bullets to follow the decree, get some bodies down on the ground. He's not gonna be able to find much for the moment. It's the low ground really just siphoning all the points over, and has he been taken over? He has. And he's been absolutely eclipsed inside the storm, completely diffed, boxed in, he's down.
Wow, I'm not fully certain what exactly happened right there, but Doxy looks like he's going to be sticking to the high ground, and it looks like no one else is looking up. This is going to be a high ground easy for him, but as I said, he actually does have to box up. Someone is aware. Harambe on the low with 6 eliminations. You got shields. No one is paying attention to where you are. You are the only person low ground right now. Doe taking a few damage, and it looks like he's going to be able to get the elimination on the Punisher. That siphon is exactly what he needed to be able to make it back into zone. The Storm not able to take him out, and now he's holding on strong to high ground. But with just 8 builds left, it's only going to be so long before someone just needs to look up and realize the position that Doxy's in. 180. He's actually one of our top point leaders right now, and this might be all to jump up into our top 3, our top 4, whatever he needs. Doxy has more opportunities. He's still got heals, but Boxy is down below. Is this going to be a Doxy and Boxy final?
It might just be Doxy almost forced to reload. Boxy out of mats now, down in the White River Rapids. Does that kayak flip though? No, he's going to be able to just breathe under the water. Gets pushed in and down. Timu's taken away. 20 HP left on the chug. Best max, best aim. Able to take height away. Doxy trying to climb all the way back up, trying to chase this upper win. The builds are so good though. Still fighting for it. Doxy is able to breathe inside the circle, drops down, is able to get that shotgun out. A silver HP, Boxy and Doxy. Ooh. It's Boxy that wins. No Noir on the floor. Best Max Sunny in the sky. He's trying to break the builds apart, sees that chug and understands the heal game is an option. Best Max takes fall damage for this rise, blocked towards the right side. Best Max can't find a way in. He goes for the spray. It's enough to win the game.
I question best mix, best aim. How could you get that title if you're not able to get a victory royale? Well, looks like he was able to shut me up because he said I can, and he did. Game number 5 does go to the way of best mix and best aim. But we had our big names going down early there, and some rising stars able to clutch out some points, Shayo. And we just know, with that being the penultimate game, that this finals is going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. Whose destiny will it be to win the whole thing?
Absolutely. We said the competition's looking a bit too common, a bit too stagnant towards the top. Is there any way Fortnite we can get a more interesting game 6? Fortnite said, let me do a game 5 for you real quick. And game 5, this is where it always happens. The people that never have a chance trying to go for a bullseye, and they hit 3 darts in the same spot, right? It goes crazy sometimes for some of these players who've been doing nothing for the majority of the competition. It's this one game that gets them into that spot, and it makes it harder for everybody else now. Kelly, you're alluding to it, but if the leaderboard's this much closer, that means game 6 is going to be trouble for the people who used to live inside the top 10. Scare, who goes down. Ian, who falls towards Storm Surge as well. These guys are going to be sweating bullets now. Specs, who started off very fine. You can see the difference in pressure for some of these players. These are guys who are trying to survive. On the other side, like Best Max Aim, even Doxy, these guys are here to win.
Man, I'm just looking. Our first place player went down in 42nd. Our second place player went down in 45th. Scare went down in 46th. So many of the players that were in our top 3, top 5 went down early in that game. And although I hate to throw out the curse there, that's what I want to see, Shayo. I want to see it be rough for players.
That is what game 5 is all about. It's different attitudes between the players that are trying to catch up and the players that want to hold on to power. It's almost poetic watching this game. A lot of people like game 6. I actually really love what happens inside these game 5s. Look at all these names. None of them in approach to this game were even closer, really that super far up inside the top 10. I'm looking at Zorro though, who might have a nicer spot inside the top 10. Now Vediana also, but again, best Max, best aim with that win there. Huge in terms of how he made it possible.
Also, Haram got to see some pop-offs in the early parts of the tournament. Finally coming back strong. 6 eliminations and some placement points as well. Going to garner them 64 points. And honestly, just looking at the top 4 right there, a lot of newer names that we haven't seen necessarily. And I'm sure that we're probably going to see them now in the top 20. But Ian still holding strong with an almost 30-point lead over Rampant Decay, who's still holding strong in second place. But Doxy and Boxy, that's what I love to see, jumping up into 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, Conart as well, like from his position, usually top 10, started off in the top 15, 17, has now pushed up towards the top 5. That's a big push in money. Scare though, Glow, Specs, Cyclops, some of these players that were a bit higher up in that leaderboard are the ones moving down to make space for Doxy, Boxy, and people like Con who are moving all the way up. At the top though, Kelly, you're absolutely right. Ian loves Vale. At this moment, it has pushed the lead by this 30-point gap over and over again. You thought it would close on that one, but with all these new players coming in, you know, again, he's stealing the show so far. I'm just wondering, can he hold on? Here are the players who are trying to catch up. Rampant Decay, Doxy, playing amazing games. No wins so far. Very consistent in how they play.
Well, also to think, you know, I immediately go into some like, oh, who can steal this away from first place? But it's not just a fight for first. Every single player in our top 10, and I mean, every player is going to be walking away with some money. Top 10 is really where the prize pool does start to separate. And just by going from first to second place, that is a difference of $1,000. And from second to third, that's a difference of $500. So even if they're not able to grab and clutch out first place, a lot of our players, all the way down to the top 20, can easily clutch up top 3, top 2 even. And that is where so much more money is going to be earned. And you know, with it being the late Shayo, maybe we're going to see some changes. Maybe we're going to see some crazier plays.
might be crazier, might be people just all locked into the same mentality. Either way, they're all playing the PlayStation Cup today. And again, it is PlayStation that's running this tournament. There's so many more tournaments on the console too, that just spanning so many games that you can check out by tapping in yourself to your PlayStation 5 device. At the same time, when it comes to what we're watching here today, the prize pool was on the line. We got one more game like you're mentioning, Kelly. Do you have a name you want to throw out, Preds, for that winner?
Oh my God, what way to throw me under the bus. You know, I want to see Curve win. I feel like I've seen Curve do better and better, and I say he did better and better. He got 90th place in that last game, so maybe not necessarily better and better, but I'd like to see Curve come out with a victory royale. We've seen him have some pretty dang good performances in major ones, so maybe a victory royale to set things off for season 3.
I'm liking that. A VR for Curve would mean that the leaderboard shakes up even more. Kelly loves chaos. It's part of the brand, so I like it. It actually matches. For me, I like holding on to that power. Give me Ian with a dub. Give me Ian at the top, even solidifying the lead even more. It will go crazy. A dominant way to finish this cup.
Ooh, match number 6 starting real soon. Got to get that battle bus gassed up, making sure that everything is ready to go before we off into the map. But you know, with a new map, a new season, and you've already talked about how you like the map. Any kind of favorite POI you've seen so far?
It's got to be like, you know, Tilted's super little brother. Well, what's it called? Battlewoods, pretty much, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I'm liking the way everything's so much lower. It's so much more box fight, city central. At the same time, Frosted Flats, very cute POI. Does kind of remind me of Salty way back in the day. Kind of is, you know, in the same spot. It's upper houses. It's also looking pretty good. Ian, though, and, you know, past the POIs, towards the players now, they've all gone through their stories. I'm seeing a big one change. Glow season, down for the count. The lobby bounty hunter almost that was giving so many people stress, moving up the ranks, claiming a spot in the top 10, has finally lost off spawn, and Ian, as the person right beside him, first place overall, getting dropped on for the moment in these solos. It's Aloe, who does not get a weapon, does steal the util away, but Ian does eat a little bit of the shock though. He gets the effect. Astro Noisy also beside him. It's pressure right now.
Ian, my goodness, that could have just been it for him. His whole game done and spoiled by Aloe, but it looks like he's able to survive, and you can see that he's nervous, he's scared, he knows that he can't go in the engagement. It's just too much of a risk, too much of a question. So instead, Ian's gonna back off. In fact, it looks like he's gonna be crazy rotate away from his POI, because he knows that anything, any false slip, any mistake can be the end of his run.
Yeah, there was like so many more people on that POI as well. I believe it was a 3 split before. That's 5 total people landing on this side, just trying to steal the game away. Pause it in first place, so they might have a chance to make some money. At the same time, for Ian, his loot path, I think, is going to be down 3 or 4 chests. He's still getting stalked by Aloe here on the side of the cove. This chest might be his downfall. Might get beamed for it. I think he does see the head. It's a shotgun to be able to play with. On the right side, just has 1 mini. He has to be careful here. He doesn't know about Aloe. Aloe, very sneaky.
Ian with 223 points. If you go out right now, I don't know if that's going to be enough to hold on. He doesn't know. Aloe with a great shot, but not enough. And he looks like he is going to be jumping in, but Ian responds so well. And actually, Aloe is the one that's now at risk. Ian, if you get the chin. Yes, let's go. Ian with 1 elimination and already setting things off for game number 6.
High pressure situation. Ian, instant reaction with that wall. He understood that he was under fire since the beginning. It's just like the rules in the movies. If you don't see the person go down and get eliminated, if you don't see them actually move back to the lobby, they could still be around you. They can always come back in Act 3, and he was ready for that finale. Sends Aloe's chances hacking. Doxy, that was the person waiting for maybe Ian to go down. His second test is here. Let's go. Another player walking the wall all the way towards the top side on this one. Ian able to move out, but again, going for multiple fights this early. Ian doesn't have his mats yet. He skipped a few chests as well. That's 3 mats per chest. He's gonna let Day inside, a much tougher opponent in this one, using that right hand angle. I'm liking the fact that Ian goes away for that cone. This is a cerebral fight between 2 players. Now, Day shouldn't have that much ammunition either. I like the fact that Ian waits inside this side as well to be able to get these metal walls kind of bolstered up. The longer this takes, the better he has a chance of staying a bit more sneaky with it. He's gonna go for the
No, but
all-in play
look,
here, Day.
He's got
Gotta be
another.
careful.
He's about to get third party. He's about to get fourth partied. Ian doing everything he can. He's playing this so well, but when everyone is just up and against you, there's only so much you can. Ian, our leader of the board, does go down early. And with those 2 eliminations, he's only going to get himself 6 points. But you have to know, is that going to be enough? And as I say that, enough shows up, currently sitting in Frosted Flats. You just have to wonder. So many eyes, so many targets were on Ian. Just what could he do in that situation?
It's super tough. I mean, it seems like there's people that are trying to do the entire weekend, just, you know, take down the leader, take his loot, maybe have his type of game. 6 extra points kind of pushes him, what, over up to 229. The person right behind him at 194 is going to have a little bit of a task to stay alive. I believe that's Rampant Decay now, who is up after getting eliminations off spawn. Now, we did run the graphic comparing Rampant to Doxy, who's right behind him. The biggest difference in their game is Rampant is relying on eliminations to keep up his point total. Doxy doesn't need elims, which means the way he's playing the game, his games are kind of guaranteed in points. For Rampant, you not only have to make it towards endgame, you also have to be getting elims on top of that, and that'll be the pressure factor for him. Doxy, he's chilling. His games go as per usual. He has a higher chance of doing well in this game.
But storm sickness is always the factor we forget about, and we've
True.
seen how long he likes to stay, and we know even if he makes it all to the end game, just one misplaced step, storm just a little too long, can be the that could be what sets apart his success and his disaster. But for Rampant Decay right now, he's looking like he's in zone. Looks like it's going to be a northern west pole, which definitely fits into his. And he hasn't even had to really build up or towel shots yet. I know you are giving it to Doxy, but I feel like Rampant Decay's got a better position here.
He's still got to, you know, kind of present his work to us in game 6. He still has to be able to get these eliminations. That being said, he's done his homework so far. He's done half the presentation to half the mats and have an amazing positionally well played game. In the end game, though, we've seen it. Doxy usually ends up surviving way longer than Rampant. Rampant maybe goes down to the top 10 with 4 elims. Doxy makes it to second place. That's the difference. I hope that Rampant is in the spot to be able to make that end game a bit tighter. He can steal first place from Ian here.
All right, Boxy making his rotation, but not fully aware of the player right above him. But it looks like he does hear the footsteps, able to box up right now, separate himself from the potential danger of a player, eliminating him from the high ground. And currently just kind of sitting in the center of zone. He's got a nice spot to be in right now. Gonna top off his shields and still have plenty to work with for the mid and late game.
Lots of time between then and now. Boxy so far has been kind of a passive observant warrior. He's always picking apart fights that, you know, he sees as a third-party operation, as a cleanup operation. But he's also very good at defensively getting out of pickles, right? Like, there'll be people that target him. He's very good at box fighting once somebody else engages on his walls. Con Art, I think one of the cooler stories of today as well. This is just the everyman's consistent player. Has been like hovering around 15th and 10th. Has been active in every single game. Sometimes it just takes one zone to win. Sometimes it just takes that game 6 pressure for you to rise up to the occasion. It has to be now, though. He's kind of locked in top 5 right now. He's in 5th place.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm looking at his performances throughout the days, and his best game was 4 eliminations, 15th place. I think is a little bit more points than he got from the 8th place with 1 elimination. But yeah, totally consistent, always making it to the end game. And although sometimes you might not be this pop-off, you know, clutch clip player, being able to just make it and survive and walk away with a few $1,000s in your pocket is enough.
He wants to keep pushing it forward, though. So he's been so consistent today. And this zone, again, so central. Everybody gets a chance to have a voice in this one. You've made 5 games of good plays, maybe slight mistakes, and you've already survived the surprises of this game. I mean, to give you a difference, a direct difference on how different this game 6 is, We usually have 77 people alive right now. There are 63. That means there's more than 10 people, 15 people almost, that have done something drastic, crazy, that's affected 15 other people. That then is, you know, again, ebbed and flowed across the entire lobby. June is like in a high ground house base. I've seen June suffering to get brick and metal like 2 zones from now. Like Vediana is boxed under another player. I've seen Vediana moving around the map as much as they want. It's so different in this one. Scare though, I don't know how the loot's so consistent. Always 2 chug jugs, always the shockwaves and that golden pistol.
It's that gold, man. Wherever he's landing, he's got so much gold to be able to buy those 2 chug jugs and
oh, it's Wonky Land, right?
Is he landing wonky? I don't know.
He does the minigame. He does the minigame in Wonky Land. We've watched it a few times. Yeah. We know the God spot. And Rampant gets zoned again. He does not have to move if he doesn't want to. But I think this is a curse, Kelly. You want to maybe be on rotation and maybe get your surge up. Right now, nobody around him is going to leave their base.
Exactly. He does have an elimination, and if I'm not mistaken, he was able to get that pretty quickly, so he didn't take too much damage. So as far as Storm Surge goes, he might actually be able to just play this out all the way until the end game, but like you said, this far into the edge of zone, unless it pulls all the way northwest, I can't imagine it's sticking to this area. Now, if it does go back to the Battlewell or those mountains, it definitely seems like the zones are favoring the Battlewoods right now. So, Rampant might actually in the best position. I see that plateau over there. Oh, okay. There is another player over there. I would imagine that'd be a great position to put yourself in. And Doxy, not in a great position. He's still stuck in Storm. He doesn't have that much mats.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at what's happened so far. I feel like someone engaged on Doxy or something, and you have to expend everything to stay alive. Bandages instead of a med kit being carried. 3 minis instead of any big pots or chug jugs. And now he's taking so much zone. One of the things we saw from Doxy in the last game, he was able to take height, he was able to stay alive because he spent a lot of time inside that circle. This is trouble. Like not being able to have that option, it's going to be tricky for him to keep staying alive towards the end of this game.
Yeah, I saw a few other players around him. So like you said, there might have been an engagement that we just missed that kept Doxy stuck in the storm. And you can see, though, that he's not worried about it. He still is doing a dead side rotation, like moving more south. That would be a faster rotate, but he's not too worried about that. In fact, his loop pathing right now, making sure that he's able to farm up and does not seem too concerned, even with only having these bandages. Doxy feels confident that he's going to be able to make it into zone without having to rush.
I gave you guys the stats, though, Kelly, of Doxy versus Rampant so far. And the thing with these two is that Doxy usually does not get that many eliminations moving in towards these end games. Eliminations are one thing from this position that will get you a refresh. It's one of the only ways to get metal kind of inside the end game. The one mat that he's kind of lacking right now, I say that, and he comes across a few boats that he might be able to farm. But again, time is a big thing. Because of his kerfuffles and his playstyle, he's going to be locked into about 100 or 1,000 mats in total. I'm not sure if that's enough for the Doxy playstyle to really keep pushing it forward. This guy needs materials. He needs time in the zone. He has to play like Rampant, and Rampant has to play like him now in order to survive this game. It's gonna be a tricky one, a completely new game we haven't seen from Doxy just yet.
And he's also playing risky now. How slow his rotation was into zone, but actually speeding up as he gets closer to the zone, which I don't know if they're really the move he wants to be making. He's making more noise, he's more visible and out in the open, and by showing that, by exposing himself, that's just going to allow those players on the edge of zone to get a few tags. That his health was starting to dwindle down. He didn't have the med kit, he only had bandages, which does not top off. But Rampant Decay looking to top off his points right now as he gets closer and closer to 200. Still few points away from Ian if he does want to steal away second place, though, or first place.
Yep, and the big thing with Doxy is what we saw him moving towards the dead side north. Look where his zone is pulled. Doxy now has to move in with the rest of the lobby. He has no advantage at being on that side. This is crazy from Rampant. What the heck is going on? Is able to get one of the shockwaves to still make moves and get almost central in the zone. The greed. He slides as well so many trees to get your wood back. I mean, what a rotation. This might have won him the entire competition. Being in this spot, he's now just 30 points behind again. He's gained a few.
It wasn't
I
like
mean, this is nuts.
it wasn't like the other players didn't. Was other people were shooting at him, and then they're just like, let him go. Like no one paid attention. Look at no one's around him besides one West, and they did not engage him whatsoever. Doxy fortunately is way into the zone now, and I would have to wonder just where he's currently sitting at the storm surge, but actually being a little bit deeper into the center and actually having this position quick. Early rotate for Doxy. That is a great point to be in. This is not how I thought it was going to go. I thought Doxy was going to be in a disastrous state, but he is just flying by and no one's taking any shots.
I love it. I got, again, 12 minutes to be able to work with. Has 74 mats in tow too. It's not the worst spot at all, and he can easily chain a refresh, easily find some chaos to get involved with here. On either side, there's a bunch of desperate players all around him. Water next to his right. He's in such a good spot, and even if things don't work out, he can get 2 bounce backs. Someone on his walls, though. He drops straight down in the water. That's what I was talking about. It's the trap play. It's his wall. He can't edit it, but he chooses to stay away.
No, he knows sticking there is going to be bad. He's going to run away instead, actually getting to a dead side rotation. And look, he's actually 270 above damage. How? He was in... Oh, this is Rampant Decay. Okay, we swapped. We swapped focuses for a second. I was confused. Rampant Decay, that makes way more sense. Still not at that 200 points yet, but with this great position that he has into zone, this will definitely give him an opportunity to take some shots onto the players floundering in the water or making their way into zone.
Big thing right now, since placement starts to come in, I believe top 50, he needs 30 people to go down, and he should be able to clinch first so far or knock Ian away from his throne. You can see he's already at 200 points. Doxy as well, slowly ticking up as every player goes down. Now, I'm not sure if this effect on Doxy means he's already storm sick, or it's just kind of coming in from the zone. Also, he is storm sick, so he can't even touch the storm. Oh my god, okay. I mean, looking at this circle, you gotta hope it doesn't have any verticality here. A gas station, I think, is a really good point of contest to be able to jump to. Does the zone pull? No! It goes to Doxy! I don't believe it!
You know what, though? I feel like he's a little scared of this. I think if it was actually a farther pull away, he'd be more confident to rotate early. But because it's kind of rotated towards like that southern area, so many players near him, and that water that he has to jump through, I actually think he's a little bit more concerned about this. He loves rotating out into the open, and now he can't do that. So everyone, look at it, like we were saying before, no one's moving, no one's shooting, everyone's just waiting.
Think about it this way, though. It's not about the win right now. It's about taking over 230 points for both these players. The more they can delay, the easier and free cash they get by knocking Ian down from his top spot. It's about 40 players for Doxy right now. Okay, that's kind of, you know, most of the lobby. Never mind. He has to make it the top 10, which is going to be tough. Both these guys have to survive till absolute endgame. Free metal and wood for Doxy.
I was wondering, I was waiting for that storm damage threshold. Being just 14 below is actually a lot better than I thought he was going to be in, but any below is going to be rough. But he is just showing that he has these rotations down. Rampant Decay, not to be outplayed, though. He's also showing that he can run free. No one's going to be looking at him. He's already made his way to the other side of zone while everyone's playing catch-up.
He's really smart to just bully somebody right before he leaves, so when they're building, they start to get bullied. He chooses a point of distraction and then keep moving. 700 damage above Storm right now. These are two opposite games. The passive Nomad Survivor versus the bully, the king of the lobby. Will it be good or evil that ends up winning this PlayStation Cup here? Overall, across 6 games, Doxy can hear people healing, having moments below them. Best mechs, best aim, the winner of game 5, finding eliminations here today as well. Rampant is stealth playing. It's gonna be hurt for the moment, but this is insanity, man.
Oh no, but he gets impulse grenaded into zone. Good response, but Rampant Decay definitely has a wrench thrown into his plan right there. Down to 40 HP due to that impulse grenade, but great recovery. Able to get just a few shields off and to use these bandages as well. That could have been disastrous, and he handled that so well.
Yeah, health-wise, Doxy is up in the lead. Why did Rampant do that? He's running low on mats for the moment right now. Doxy cannot touch the Storm again. Remember, he's been storm sick trying to get back into this game. Rampant up in trouble for the moment. Shotgun miss, and that might just be it. Rampant Decay goes down 213 points. It's not enough to take all the way over, but Scare might be taking this position in just a moment. Doxy 204. To take first place off the throne, you have to make it all the way up to 229. That will be almost the entire lobby. He's on 13 mats. He's got nothing in the tank. We have to see if it's possible.
I believe in Doxy, but Boxy, the other side to his coin, is also still alive, still strong at 194 points. He actually the real silent killer. Doxy, though, not just yet. Got 12 minis to his name, so still plenty of opportunity to engage. Single back up, but Boxy sticking to the mid ground right now, not getting any engagement, but had players shooting from below, from above, everywhere. Boxy just needs to stay alive right now, able to get the shield off, but is that going to be enough to keep him going?
Boxy is down 214 points. I think he might just take away that spot away from Rampant. It's on the same box. Boxy has to land the shot. He goes for the spray. Gets one. Has to get the refresh as well. Chases it. Instead of the Elam, chases it. Instead of survival, there is the Chug. It's stuck inside the builds. He can't get it. He can't heal. It's just Boxy now. Not inside the zone. 15 HP. It's fine for the moment. Not too many builds left either. Quick field over towards the top, 173 points. He's looking to get towards higher, inside the top 10. Look at all these builds towards the ground. It's not an oasis. It's an urban landscape right now. You have to try to find your place in real estate. Clixy trying to chop in towards the box. He's trying to get the work done. Clocking in overtime. 179 points. He's trying to take the lead.
Clixy, you do this every time. I see you in the qualifiers getting first place, getting the most amount of eliminations, and then you make it to the finals and you wait. But Boxy goes down right now, and Clixy with 182 points and 10 eliminations is now looking to make his name, make a statement saying, this is why I did well in the qualifiers, and now I'm here to take it in the final game. Better late than never. Holding high ground right now is Clixy, but with 10 eliminations, can they make that 11? Can they make that 12?
Trying to get as much money as possible by just working that placement, working the elims. 219 points all the way up there is one of the totals to beat, to maybe take second. Clixy, every elim matters. Every shot must connect inside this metal box. He's the one that magnetizes towards the head. Still trying to find more, pushing it forward. 5 total players, 4 more targets for Clixy. He builds up. He's got the mats. He's got the time, the space. He locks it down. Kurama trying to unleash, using whatever form possible to take over in high ground, but doesn't have the chakra, does not have the energy for the moment. Clixy moving around, double edit, doesn't get found, but the shot is going to be there. The follow through as well, forcing people into different boxes. He has the mats, the space, the time, but he needs the elims. He knows how important his elimination is. He'll keep chasing forward, doesn't find it. Every player playing so passive. Clixy is the hunter, every player the prey below.
Clixy is doing everything he can. He's playing this so well, but Murfindy trying to go for the sneaky strat. Clixy, though, other potential elimination. Gets Spectral right there, now up to 12. There's only 2 other players left. Murfindy down below, going up against Dart. Now it is a 1v1. Mur on the low, Clixy on the high ground. Will he get the final victory royale? Everything spells success for Clixy, and he gets the final shot, but doesn't get the full elimination. Final moment here. Can he get the shot onto Murfindy? And the final game goes to Clixy with 13 eliminations, the best that we have seen all day long. Congratulations to Clixy.
That is insane from Clixy, climbing up to 210. I'm not sure if the placement and the elimination points tap in for him at the very end there. We're gonna have to wait and see. With so many people close to that 210 point, 215, 220 is insane. Did Ian hold on towards the top as well? The questions right now are nuts in terms of how that end game really broke down. We're gonna have to wait for that leaderboard in just a second, but Kelly, what an insane game.
That was wild. You're totally right. So many of our big names holding on to the final moments, but then going down one by one. We had Doxy, we had Boxy. Ian also went down early, but I think Ian just playing so well and so consistently throughout the day, getting that second and then that first place right out the gate, definitely set himself up for success throughout the day. But we just have to remind ourselves some of the highlights we got to see in that game.
I mean, the hunt for Ian, the hunt for the trophy, the gold medal, the first place, the podium spot. I mean, he tried his best to stay alive. He pushed his lead forward by 6 points, and I'm wondering, him winning those fights, is that enough to keep it in? To keep him in. Doxy as well, the person that doesn't really want to fight, doesn't like to fight, forced to do it, and tries to push his lead as forward as possible. Plixie as well, the story of somebody in the top 10 needing to win a game to make more money, does it all the way towards the very end in some of the most drastic close box fights we've seen so far. I mean, this game 6 was cinema and my favorite from any PlayStation Cup we've seen so far.
This is exactly what I want to see, and what a wonderful way to wrap up Days from PlayStation. This is, if we're going to celebrate all the incredible PlayStation has, well, I think a basic Fortnite tournament is the perfect way to wrap it up. Now, wrapping up match number 6, it is not a surprise, with 13 eliminations and a victory royale. 99 points is what Clixie is going to be able to gain in that game.
I mean, that's nuts. I'm not sure if we saw a 99 today, 13 elim win. Genuinely don't think it's possible that we must have missed it if that's the case. I think I've seen 8 eliminations, maybe 9 as the total. That is a record performance. I'm just going to say it on the day from Clixie, though. Remember these names, right? You got Kurama, who's been here a bunch of times. Cube, who's been having really good averages. Swexy as well, who's kind of inside that top 20. Sortle, who's teetering towards the top 10. What do these overall placements with Scare and Boxy also in the business mean for the overall match results, Kelly?
Well, we are about to find out, as we can claim that it is Ian Loves Vale as our first place winner with 229 points. But we saw the significant lead that Ian had at the start of the game and able to hold on to that lead. Just look how close Boxy got. Just point difference. And Doxy right behind him. And then just a 1 point difference with Rampant Decay. Shio, this is one of the closest we've ever had in a PlayStation Cup.
The differences right there for Boxy, Doxy, Rampant, they're like thousands of dollars, like right now in the 2, 3, and 4, and it's all because of what happens in that end game. That total game, though, take a look at 5th place, Clixie. To start off at like 160 points, he was over there at 18th. He was gonna walk away with $150 today. By making it to 5th place, he bumps himself up after that game to $1,000. He just played a $900 Fortnite game. That's insane. Like, that is a phenomenal performance from Clixie.
And that final elimination too is what separated him from Scare, literally just 1 point. And it showed that sometimes if none of us surviving, Clixie knew that he needed the elims and the placement points. What an incredible play. But of course, we have to give the shout out to Ian. He played out of his mind to start, and with an average elimination of 3, pretty good for eliminations, but for me, it was the average placement. 29th, making it to the end game, and even in that final game, he went down early, but setting yourselves up for an early success, he was able to coast and ride it out, and now he's going to be walking away a lot richer.
It's amazing for Ian, and the biggest thing too, it wasn't even a perfect performance from Ian, right? Storm sickness, but the adjustments that we saw from him, leaving that POI early, leaving early when there's so much pressure and firepower in game 6. This guy understands the game right now better than anyone else. His drop shot split is better than yours by 10 miles. Sorry, PlayStation players. He's just kind of the GOAT at the moment. And honestly, Ian, I know we were kind of not even focusing on your game plan. It's because you're a phantom, man. You're a ghost. You're playing this game in the best possible way, not getting interrupted. And then when it matters in the end game, popping off in ways that we can't even fathom, man. Congratulations. Deserved first place prop.
The console, because they run these events all the time. Shio and I have been a part of it now for almost a year, and it has been absolutely incredible in regards to Fortnite. We got duos, we got solos, we've had 0 builds, we've done some reload, Shio. Everything that you could really want in a Fortnite tournament, PlayStation's got.
Absolutely. I feel like this entire system of getting in pros as well into the console, getting you open to other tournaments from other games, and tapping in with Fortnite in amazing ways to have stories like this. It's not available in the FNCS. It's not available on other platforms. It happens here at PlayStation, and I hope it even happens again, Kelly. Today, my favorite one so far.
I absolutely agree. And unfortunately, for every good story, there has to be an ending, and that is going to be the ending for us right now. Big shout outs to all of our players. Big shout outs to all of our viewers. Hope you all enjoyed the show. And again, we got more coming up your way. But to end things off,
enjoy the new Fortnite season. That looks like an awesome game to play right now. I'm going to be downloading. I'm going to be tapping in. I want to, land into the little mini game like Scare. I want to play endgame like Ian. I want to be like these players I saw today. Kelly, it's been amazing. Anything from you?
No, I mean, excited to see you all in these tournaments. We have a lot of Fortnite tournaments coming up your way. So if you guys are not just a fan of Fortnite, of PlayStation, but just all competition, check out some esports, man. So much incredible esports going on all the time, especially when it comes to Fortnite, man. We got the Reload Elite Series, we got FNCS, so much more coming your way. And of course, more PlayStation tournaments too. But for now, everyone, that is going to be it for us here. Thank you again for Days of Play. Last day for everyone, so check out the deals. It is literally the last day for Days of Play. It ends in like 5 hours or 6 hours, if I'm not mistaken, so go check it out right now. But for that, it is going to be the end of the show for us. On behalf of Shio and myself, thank you guys so much, and we can't wait to see you on that battle bus.
Beep, beep.
I'm confident when I'm drinking rain. I hope you get a taste.